All right, guys, we're just getting settled, so bear with us.
Bear with us, please.
Some assembly required.
Dean, remind me never to invite Rainer and Seth back.
Dude, you don't have to invite me. I'm just going to show up.
Zach,
That's how it works.
Really quick. Don't ever invite Seth and Rainer back.
Hey, Dean, remind me never to, have Zach back on his own show.
Yeah.
Is this a bad time to mention that I changed my availability at work?
All right, you guys
Oh,
ready?
that's right. Rainer could be here every week.
Okay. 3, 2. Actually, let me look up one thing real quick.
You fucking dude.
Look at this amateur.
No, I'm doing the research and development. All right, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
What's up, gamers? I get him every time.
One day it'll be funny. Today's not that
I
day.
thought it was funny.
It's funny every time.
Was that what you were talking about a few seconds ago?
All right, I don't want to do the show anymore.
You can leave. We'll do it without you.
Yeah.
We're good.
3, 2, 1. Dean, the English language is one of those things that you either get or you don't.
That's true.
The Webster's Dictionary defines worst as an adverb most severely or seriously, a noun the most serious or unpleasant thing that could happen, or a verb to get the better of or defeat.
Right.
So yesterday you gave me an English lesson and I was doing pretty good. I think we got it down pat.
Dude, yeah, it was actually really funny. We were like,
Yeah,
why-
all day on our trip to Austin, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. We were doing a little bit of English language quizzing.
We're like, why can't we record all this?
It's pretty special.
You all missed out.
I'm sure we did.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Ooh, the Usurper Part 2. Technically, Seth has been on more episodes, so I believe
Yes.
Seth has priority there.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh no, Rainer was first, but yeah.
Are you guys gonna finish or?
I thought we were restarting.
All right, take two. Take two.
Jesus, guys.
Okay. Serious face.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Seth.
I'm Rainer.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
Yep.
We got a great show planned for you. Lots of new pre-orders by Hot Toys. Spooktacular is, I think we're at the eve of Spooktacular. It's finishing tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I was confronted at a toy event by a very angry individual.
Oh man.
And Dean and I were invited by the Zuck himself to tour Facebook Austin headquarters.
Yep.
It's quite magical. Before we
Look at
get started,
this guy.
Dean, we have a very special segment that we start off all of our favorite shows with. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's
New
new
this
this week. Wow. Zach, what was that? Smith's the fan. What'd you get new this week? Well, I bought another 6-scale Rick Hunter from it's not the same one I got. It's a different one it's older, but it's like the first one that came out.
Yeah.
And the dude just canceled my order right before I got here. I have
You
no
ordered
idea.
it from eBay or
Yeah.
from Ami?
I bought it on eBay and I paid yesterday, and then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden today it was like your order was canceled.
Did he
That
say why?
sucks.
He said out of stock. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean?
It means that he's out of stock.
It means that he sold it to somebody else.
He's a fucking dickhead. I'm about to leave him a negative star review on his.
Negative
eBay
feedback,
page.
baby. Throwback.
Hell yeah.
Is that all?
It's like, take your shit off eBay then. And you know what? I know that he knew that listing was on there because I was sending him offers.
Uh-huh.
Like, it ended up being like a $5 difference. I was like, fuck it, I'll just pay for it. So I bought it. But it's like, I know that you knew this listing was on here. It's not like, it was like, oh shit, the thing sold, but I sold it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, I know you knew it was there. I'm definitely going to leave him a bad review.
You
Fuck
should.
that guy.
Rainer, what'd you got?
Not really much this week, because I've got an upcoming trip to Disney World, so I've been kind of trying to penny pinch a little bit. I did get, however, that head sculpt that I mentioned in our chat a little bit ago. It finally came in after like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And there was an eBay issue with that, right?
Yeah, kind of similar to Dean, only they shipped the package without one of the parts of the order in it and didn't tell me.
Huh.
And they didn't tell me, hey, we're out of stock, or hey, or whatever. It's just you showed up, and I'm like, hey, there's something missing.
Ooh,
So
hang on. Time on. We got to start that over again.
Oh my god!
Good thing we caught it. Okay. What up, Mervin? Sorry. Okay, let's
God damn it. Okay,
we'll just make
I'll
up
make mine better.
we'll make up a new cold open.
Yeah.
Rainer, you gotta make sure you lean into the mic. Like not like
like
you-
this.
You're kind of doing this,
So
and then
this.
your voice is kind of doing this. You gotta keep your voice like consistent.
If you're talking, you're up on it.
Yeah,
Okay, is this better?
yeah, that's better.
Perfect. I'll stay
All
here.
right, let's,
As long as whenever you're talking, if you just want to sit back,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
once you start talking, you got to be like
Cool. Cool.
all up on it.
3. We'll start a new cold open and everything because
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, gamers? Today it was the day. Today was the day.
What was that you were
Dean, I
mentioning
give
about your server?
So we're back here in the studio. Last week we took Tuesday off. My daughter was in the hospital, and it's one of those things. I'm a dad, I'm a collector, but the dad thing comes first
For
before
sure.
the collecting, and things
Always.
are better now. We're home and everyone's safe and sound, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the studios with my dudes. It's our first 4-person podcast with the new setup.
Well,
and
what?
Yeah.
your boy forgot to hit record on the first take, so we're doing take number 2.
Yeah.
What an amateur.
Enjoy.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Seth.
I'm Rainer.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting. No, that's right from Dean. My gosh, I was
Ooh,
pausing.
sorry, I was in the chat.
pausing. We have a great show for you planned today. We have a lot of new pre-orders by Hot Toys and some third-party companies to talk about. Spooktacular is been going absolutely insane. I was confronted at a toy show by someone who I adminned many months ago, and Dean and I were invited by the Zuck to tour Facebook headquarters Austin, and we got a story to tell you guys about it. It was pretty wild. Before we get started, Dean, we have a segment that all of our favorite shows start with. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's
New
new
this
this week. Damn.
Nailed it that
Take
time.
2 was way better.
Dude, everything about Take Two was better.
Okay. What'd you get new this week? So I bought a new 6-scale Rick Hunter. The first one I got was the new kids concept.
Yeah, you've been
Oh.
talking about that company for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm also going to make another purchase from them this week when I get paid.
You're buying those on Big Bad Toy Store? Or
Yes.
from Okay.
Going to use the affiliate link from Tashi, help him out.
Shout out to John Martino.
Yes, John, sweet angel. Also, so this 6-scale Rick Hunter was from a company called Playmax. Now this is from I want to say the early 90s. It was from the Robotech movie. Actually, I don't even want to say it's 6-scale because it's technically larger, but anyway, technical difficulties aside with the figure. I bought it yesterday, my payment went through, and then today the guy just canceled my order for no reason.
Yeah.
It said out of stock, but I had been sending him offers all week. So I know he knew the product was on eBay. He could have easily been like, oh shit, somebody made an offer. Let me take that down.
Yeah.
So it's like, what gives? I don't know.
Dude, that's shitty.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
And the worst part is your recourse, I guess, is to leave a negative review.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just feel like that's not enough. It wastes your time. Especially if you sold stuff to buy that, it's just a huge inconvenience to have that happen. It's happened to me twice. And it's just I don't really know what you could want that's more than a negative review. Maybe a strike, if they get 3 of those items not in stock, they get kicked off eBay, something like that.
Yeah.
But that is the absolute worst thing.
You nailed
Did
it.
I nailed it?
Yeah.
Yo, holler at your boy.
Yeah. He
Dean and I were doing some English lessons in Austin last night.
Yeah, because it was a used product. It's not it's an eBay store keeping products in stock. It was just a guy selling his stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like he had 20 of them and he missed.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's what was the issue that now all of a sudden it's out of stock? So I don't know. I'm pretty pissed.
My guess would be that he probably sold it locally, and now he
Yeah,
doesn't
maybe
have to
Rick
ship it.
Stollers, because
Right.
he has an eBay store.
That's true.
Maybe he went to a toy show, got
Yeah.
beat up, and sold it.
But like I said, I was sending offers,
Mm-hmm.
so I know that he knew I was trying to get it.
Yeah.
Rainer, what about you?
I've been kind of penny pinching these last couple of weeks because I've got a trip coming up to Disney World, so that's going to be super fun, but obviously expensive.
Oh yeah.
However, I was working on a Juno Eclipse custom from the Force Unleashed games, and I had ordered a head sculpt as part of a lot off of eBay a few weeks ago, and the lot came in a few weeks ago with no head sculpt for Juno.
Oh,
And
shit.
so that just got rectified this week. So I'm super happy to continue working on that. So
Very cool. Very cool. Seth, what about you?
I didn't get a shit.
You haven't gotten anything since the
I
last
haven't
short
time
and
we
sweet.
talked to you?
anything in a long time.
Nice.
So yeah,
That
I've
is-
been
back.
spending a lot of time in the gym, so that's been most of my.
I
day.
will say
Dude, did anyone else see Seth's costume?
the basketball one.
Yes.
It was legit.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
You look pretty dope. I was kind of hoping you guys would dress up, and as a matter of fact, I was wearing a cape, and then all y'all were roasting the cape, so I took it off. Y'all
I
were
roasted the
being-
cape pretty hard. It
y'all are
was
being
not good.
absolute
It
assholes.
looked like he was eating lobster and had a bib on, and then like took off running and it went backward.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it looked
I
like.
thought I thought about showing up in a Darth Vader helmet, but I didn't want to steal Zach's thunder. So
Y'all are legit all horrible people. And
Hey, at least
frankly,
you got these awesome Facebook
frankly, I think
glasses
I'll
on.
be doing the show by myself from now on.
You know you love us.
Dean, you got one more thing that you didn't mention. You got a new 3D printer.
Yes, yeah.
And we have it pulled up on the slides here. And this 3D printer, quite complicated to build. And you were saying that there was a little nice little Easter egg in the box.
Yeah, it's really funny. Okay, so this is the Prusa Mark III. It's a pretty inexpensive printer. If you build it yourself, it's about $300 less.
Oh shit!
So if you buy 3 of them unbuilt,
You're saving like $900.
yeah, and you could buy a 4th printer. So it's like you get 4 for the price of 3
Yeah.
if you just build it yourself. So this is our second one, and I'm in charge of building it. So when I leave here today, I'm gonna go finish. But yeah, my sister was like, "Open the box, like let's get going." So I opened the box, and there was a little package of Haribo gummy bears in it.
That's
And
amazing.
I was like, "What the hell is this?" She's like, "It's part of the build." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You'll see." So if you look at one of these pages, there's the Haribos right there.
Yeah, and you were saying like each instruction was like eat this many gummies for completing this.
Yeah, like
step.
oh, you did good. Eat a handful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So
That
every
is-
time I get to like a section of the book, I get to eat something.
Absolutely
Terrible.
amazing. So I had a pretty interesting week. PokemonCenter.com is a Nintendo official retailer of Pokemon merchandise.
Yeah.
And I had been looking at their Dragonite for quite a while, and it's been out of stock or like back ordered. And like, I would just check like once a month, once every few weeks, and it was always like, not in stock.
Right.
Finally found it in stock, and you can see here I have Dragonite alongside some of the other Dragon buddies that I have. It's a gallery figure, so it's like on a kind of like Figuarts effects. Like he's doing a blast, so he's like nestled in a cloud doing
Okay.
like a hyper beam. And I was like, that's cool, but I'd rather him be alongside like my other Pokemon.
Right.
And so I ripped him off the base and put him on a flight stand. You can see him here on the table. He's really, really cool. Definitely a pretty decent size. He scales pretty well with Red and scales pretty well with some other Charizard figures that I have. And speaking of Red, the Figma Red was on sale on Pokemon Center. And I've had this figure before. And the first time that I had it, I think I paid like $100 for it.
Right.
Maybe like $110. It was quite expensive. That was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was from Big Bad Toy Store. But since Pokemon Center imports their own figures, they had it for $50.
But that's not bad.
And that's the exclusive version. The Pokemon Center exclusive version comes with the Pikachu. So it comes
Nice.
with all the Kanto starters plus Pikachu. Now there is a Japan exclusive with a winking Pikachu, but that one's like astronomically expensive. And I wasn't even expecting to get the Pikachu when I got the
Right.
packaging. I looked in the box and there was a black bag in there, and I was like, "That's weird. I don't remember seeing that." When I had it originally, and it was a little Pikachu inside, and it's to
Very
scale
cool.
with all the other
That's
Kanto
cool.
starters. So.
You have this with you right now?
It's on the, in the
Oh,
little
I see
cube.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can pull it out here later.
No, you're fine. I just thought maybe you were waiting for it in the mail.
Yeah, and so the Pokemon figures, real quick, we got Mervin in the chat. Mervin says, yo, what's up, Dean? What's up, guys?
Yo.
So the thing about Wicked Cool Toys, we've been talking about them quite a bit, and they I wanted to show here. So on this picture here, I got on the left each of the Wicked Cool Toys Kanto starters, and on the right the Figma versions, which are Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur.
Nice.
And you can see that all things considered, the Wicked Cool Toys, they're certainly not bad options if you want a Kanto display, but you don't want to pay for red.
Right.
I will say Bulbasaur is probably the worst of the three in terms of the paint apps and just the overall look, but the Charmander and Squirtle are really fine additions, and I think if you had like a diorama with multiple Charmanders and Squirtles and whatnot, I think they'd fit right in together. So that is
Very cool.
my new this week, minus the biggest addition. Dean,
Oh.
you started a tradition on the show of sharing new additions to our family, and when you got Kevin, you talked about him this week, and
I
then,
was like,
and then Pete
tradition.
talked about his dog
Yeah.
this week. So I got a dog. Listeners of the show know that my dog passed away in February, quite traumatically, and it's kind of like a healing process that you go through, and it took us a while to be ready to have another dog. And so this is Juno here. Seth got a chance to meet her earlier.
Yeah,
and,
she's awesome.
She's pretty insane. Lots of energy. They said she's a year old, but I'm like 95% sure that is a damn lie.
Can we meet her?
Yes.
Okay, good.
After-
She is super sweet.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
Seth already met her.
She's really cool. My other dog, I loved him, but he was kind of an asshole, and but not in a good way.
Dude, I've been friends with you how long?
Like 2-3 years.
2-3 years. He never,
Never warmed up to you.
yeah, ever.
And so that was my big news this week. Mervin says that he has had a cancellation before in the past, and a guy canceled the order because he sold it for more money on a different platform.
Yeah.
Definitely something I think that could have happened in your case.
Right, but like I said, I was sending him offers, so why didn't he just delete the goddamn fucking? Anyway,
Because he's a shitty person.
yeah, there you go.
Let's-
Seth has it.
Let's get into new pre-orders. So we have Hot Toys showing The Flash from the new season.
This is crazy.
250 releasing April to June 2021. Dean, tell me about it.
Well, it's from this is a new outfit reveal, right?
Yeah, from
Like,
the
no
newest.
one's seen this outfit.
I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of the Flash show, but it's
I-
my understanding this is from the season that hasn't come out yet.
I
Right.
feel like I've seen this suit before, though. I feel like it's an older season suit, but maybe I could be wrong. I haven't watched the show in a while, and all his suits kind of look
Yeah,
the
Dylan
same.
in the description on Hot Toys, it says for the newest season.
Okay.
I don't know if that means like the last one
Yeah.
or the newest, the next.
So they've never done this before, right? A DC television show figure.
Yeah, they have the Flash. They have the other one, right?
No, they don't have it. They don't have
Oh, that was
anything.
a So-So Toys
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
this is the first DC
this
television.
kind of came out of left field when I first saw it. I was like, "What? They're actually dipping their toe,"
Mm.
and that's a
I'm-
huge
I'm
market.
thinking of the Marvel, the Daredevil and the Punisher.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, this is because you have the Arrow.
Yeah. That was a third-party one.
Heroes, or what's
The Teen
Legends of
Titans.
Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow,
They could do
The Teen Titans show.
Batwoman from this point.
Supergirl.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge market here
Yeah.
that's all
DC kills
interconnected.
it like with the shows. The movies, they're kind of hit or miss, but
Yeah,
the shows, I understand that they're pretty popular.
Dude, I'm not a huge DC fan. I've let that be known.
Uh-huh.
Corey
Oh.
loves the Flash. It's his favorite.
I know what I'm
character.
thinking. I'm thinking of the Flash from the movie.
yeah.
The movie
Okay.
Flash. Okay, you're right. You're right.
I went over to his house and he was watching an episode, and it just happened to be an ensemble episode where like the shows start interconnecting.
Uh-huh.
And like I got sucked in right away. And I was like, I need to finish this. So we went through, I think it was on Netflix or whatever, and watched all the corresponding episodes. It was kind of annoying because they weren't in sequential order. You had to go find the show and
Yeah.
then what season it was in.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. So when I first saw this, I was like, damn, like I think this is gonna do pretty well. 'Cause then,
Mhm.
and then if it does, it opens the door for all those other characters.
Dude, I'm hyped. I hope this does well because I love, like, maybe not the latest seasons of Arrow, but the first seasons of Arrow were
Yeah.
fantastic, and I love Stephen Amell. So I can't wait for this to do well, hopefully, so I can get a Stephen Amell Arrow figure.
Yep.
Definitely. Mervin says Arrow was my show, but Batwoman is good. He said so fat. I think he meant so far. Hot Toys showed their Neon Tech War Machine. 407 buys you that, releasing April to June 2020. Easy pass.
Yeah.
Dean, you and I are both not huge fans of these neon versions. Seth, is this a pickup for you?
No, I mean, I have that War Machine in his regular colors. I don't need this weird Tron look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could get this one and just give me your old one.
That's not going to happen.
We also have Noble
No.
Young in the chat. Rainer, is this a pickup for you, do you think?
Nah, I don't think this is going to be a pickup for me. I'm not a big fan of the Neon Tech as well.
Okay. So let's move forward. PC Toys showed off their stone box. This is for the Infinity War briefcase that I think Captain America took back
Yeah.
in time at the end of Endgame. This is $29, releasing Q1 2020. You can find this pre-order at TNS, probably 1/6 kit. I have to say, it looks well done. I don't think this is a pickup for me. I know I believe there's a third-party Old Man cap that comes with this accessory already, if I'm not mistaken. And we all know that if Hot Toys pre-orders their own team suit Captain America, that we're going to see that as well. What's that? We got a little bit of audio interference. Bear with us, please. We good?
We're good now.
Okay, let me see if I can still keep this plugged in over here.
It's such a weird thing that happens.
I don't think it shows up on the recording, but it's good that we catch it.
Oh,
Better safe than sorry.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Up next, we have a Black Student Miles, is what it was initially solicited
Black high school
as.
student.
Yeah, Black High School Student Miles by Super MC Toys. This comes in at $150, released in Q1 2020. This is Miles Morales from the Into the Spider-Verse movie. Specifically, I believe this is the opening costume that he wears when he's just in high school.
Yeah.
$150 is a pretty decent price, I do have to say, but they fixed the weird Black Student Miles thing. I think a lot of people were trolling in the comments, like me particularly. I was like, oh, I'm excited for the 1/6 white homeless Spider-Man. Like it was just such an odd pretense for them to put that. It's clearly an African-American kid. Maybe the high school student is more appropriate, but I just thought that was
It was weird.
It's a weird distinction.
Yeah, and when they showed the final pics up for pre-order, that was changed.
It looks really good.
The head sculpt looks fantastic. It looks like it might be rooted, or like a more not sculpted hair.
Yeah.
You gonna pick it up, Seth?
I might. I
It's
mean,
not bad. It's like $150. I think
Yeah.
the Young Rich was like $109, $210, something like that.
yeah. No, this
$60
looks really
less.
good. It even looks like they have a lot of detail on the Jordans that he's wearing. I mean, it looks like a good figure.
Yeah, definitely. So Mervin said that it sounded like Bowser Fire Breath. So
Dude, that's exactly what it sounded like.
let's go back to the PC Toys real
He
quick.
nailed
So
it.
3, 2. PC Toys is releasing. Wow. PC Toys is releasing a stone box. $29 buys you this, releasing Q1 2020. This is the briefcase that Captain America brings at the end of Avengers Endgame to return the stones back in time. It seems okay. It seems pretty cool, but I will say that I feel like if you're going to get this, you're going to get a Team Suit cap that's going to come out eventually, and I can't see Hot Toys making a Team Suit cap that doesn't include this accessory.
Yeah.
Given how bare bones those figures are probably going to be. So definitely an easy pass for me here. Really interesting. This is by Bullethead, a Gwen Stacy Q1 2020. No price has been announced on this yet at the time of this recording. This figure looks fantastic with the exception of the unmasked head. I will say it looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It just looks awful.
It's very creepy.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's bad the way it looks because of the art style. It's very like
True to form.
yeah, it's true to the art, but when you bring it to like a 3D thing that you can look at from multiple angles, I don't think it works. But I
Yeah.
think if this was a 2D render, I think it makes more sense as that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you guys think this is going to come in at? I'm thinking like maybe 180, 190.
Yeah, I feel probably 200 at most.
Yeah,
but
looks like she comes with a backpack, a base, some hands, and some web effects. And they're calling it Miss Stacy. I know, Rainer, you said you might want to pre-order this when it comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you order a Miles from this movie, or were you more of a Spider-Gwen fan?
Probably I get a Miles to go with her, but for right now I'm just interested in the Spider-Gwen, and I can always get my hands on the Miles later.
That is true. There's Young Rich. There's the Super MC Toys.
yeah.
Definitely several options if you want to get a Miles down the line. Now, this is the 6-scale Transcender. This is by Toys Works. This is $131, releasing Q1 2020. This is Agent Smith from The Matrix. 2 head sculpts, one neutral, one snarling, the pistol, the glasses, a Matrix base with the code effect, multiple switch out hands, and looks like there's some other piece on the bottom here. Looks like a neck adapter maybe. But what do you guys think about this?
His angry face looks like he's trying a little too
It
hard.
looks
That's all
like
I
a
gotta
different
say.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the neutral portrait doesn't look too bad, but I think you're right. I think the it almost looks like one of those what is it, Gangster's Kingdom? Like they're really stylized.
Yeah, yeah.
It almost looks like that,
Yeah,
like very
that's-
character-esque.
That's what I was gonna say about the neutral. It's very stylized,
Mhm.
and then the angry face just looks like a totally different dude.
I mean, he does look good with the glasses on from the bigger, like full body picture. But you know, it could be that it's further
Oh,
away a
that's
little
true.
bit. I think you could pass it off a little bit with the glasses on because I think the eyes are really messed up.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
face,
Seth, do you have a Neo?
no,
I thought you did.
no, I don't have a Neo.
Okay, so this looks like a miss for us. But
Mhm.
next up
I
on the
don't-
list,
Well, just real quick before we move on, I don't see Hot Toys not making Neo, or
I would say they're
not
gonna make-
making
yeah,
Smith.
yeah.
They already made Neo. Are they only going to make one dude from the movie?
I mean, I think if they're gonna do
And
the
the
line,
Matrix
they got to make
4's coming out.
Trinity, Smith,
That's what I'm
Morpheus,
saying.
Yeah,
minimum.
This is a weird. I mean, I guess this company just wanted to get in their foot in the market
yeah, because there's
because there's
already the
going to
Hot
be people like,
Toys.
oh, people want Neo, or they're going to want Smith with their Neo.
Yeah,
So they just fucking made one and put it out there. But if you're a serious collector and you're serious about the Matrix, I personally would just wait
yeah,
because
yeah.
you're going to get a much better product than that.
yeah.
But that's just my take.
Maybe it might be good to army build with this figure, and then
That's
have like the
true.
Hot Toys.
That would be cool.
like as your front runner, because all the other agents they kind of look ish, you know,
Yeah.
with the glasses on there.
Well, then in the Matrix
Mhm.
3, they're all Agent Smith.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's a good
but
idea.
the Neo though is from the Matrix.
That's
1,
not a
though.
bad idea.
Dude, that was some fucking expert shit right there. So next up is the CGL Toys Professor Xavier, releasing Q1 2020. I did not see a price on this one, but it looks like a really solid release. It comes with a base, a stand, the wheelchair, the Cerebro helmet, and some hands.
Why does it come with a stand?
I have not seen this. I have not seen this version
Am I
of
wrong?
Professor
Touche.
Xavier, but he may walk in this movie because
What movie
there's-
is it from?
I don't know. It's the what is it? The McElroy? What's his name?
Yeah.
John McAvoy.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Bran the Broken. Like his figure was shown off standing in the pre-order
Yeah.
picks.
I know. but
Maybe this is just for the purpose of the pre-order picks.
So
But
if it's from,
he only walks in the first movie.
Yeah.
And he's not bald in the first movie.
so if it's from the latest, the Dark Phoenix or whatever, it might make a little sense, and that's all I'm
no,
saying.
yeah, don't spoil
Okay,
it.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
So potentially this could make some sense in that universe. The Max Nut Killmonger has been re-released. These are going for about $39 each. And Quinn had an interesting remark from Nut PIZS himself. And I'm paraphrasing here. We did not have permission at this point of the recording to share the exact message. But essentially what Quinn was told was that these were lower quality factory samples that may have some seam lines and, you know, maybe a little less detailed than the ones that he released previously. So if you're buying these, they're going to be cheaper than the initial release, but they are going to be at a slightly lower quality.
Nice.
Speaking of Killmonger, I am like,
He's a low quality character. Anyway,
I'm like
so
this close to pre-ordering Killmonger. I am. We'll talk about it in Spook.
it's a waste of money, but
I am so
talk about
close. We'll talk about it. Dean, this was really exciting for me. I know you're not a huge GT fan, but Dragon Stars by Bandai is finishing out their GT line with a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta figure. I'm really stoked. I have the Goku right there, and you know, I'm just glad because I feel like you really can't have one without the other.
right.
Yeah.
And then it kind of leaves the door
That's-
open for them to make like a baby Vegeta or Omega Shenron, like some of the cooler characters from that arc.
The only Goku you're allowed to not have a Vegeta with is Kid Goku.
That is accurate. that is very accurate.
Yeah, they're pieces of
Real quick, new this week, we got a little clicker for the slides because last time we had so much trouble.
Is that Sam McNeil?
This is Sam McNeil from the Jurassic Park Alan Grant by Chronicle Collectibles.
So hate.
This is their master prototype, and this is painted by Jacob Ramier. And I will say this looks fantastic.
Oh, it looks
But-
amazing.
But I think they're kind of getting themselves in a bad spot because this figure prototype here is so well done
It's gonna
by
spoil
one
it.
of the absolute best painters in the hobby that anything that comes out of their factory is going to be compared against this, and it's not going to look right.
So you're saying they should do worse?
I'm not saying that they should do worse. I'm just saying that they should not. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like Hot Toys. Like when we see the production sample, we kind of know what to expect. We're going to get pretty close to this.
Right.
But with this company, they've had so many prototype issues in the past where they show a wonderful painted prototype, and then a final figure comes out and it's totally different. I think it's a bad move for them to do this for their first 6-scale figure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I mean,
Like obviously they want their product to look as good as it can, but I think they should have maybe
Taking a couple steps back.
hired like not gone with like the best dude in the game to show off their first 6-scale prototype because
Well,
for
I'm sure
example,
they don't have your number on hand.
I charge extremely high rate. I'm a very busy man.
No, you charge a high rate, but your quality is
Wow, that's
second to none. Let me finish.
thank you very much for.
I mean, are we really going to expect that somebody's going to see this and go, "Oh yes, my figure is definitely going to look like that"?
Have you never been in a
I was,
group?
I was
ever?
gonna say, have you not spent any time in a 6-scale collector group?
That's fair.
Yeah, I just
My figure doesn't fly like it does in the promo shots. Like, well, no shit, man. They touched.
I am suing because he didn't fly.
let's talk. Let's
Oh.
talk releases. Hot Toys Mark 7.
God damn it!
Dean, I'll let you take the floor because I know you're very excited about this release.
I want this one. Horde.
Whoa!
Got dork.
Never forget, Dork Fast.
Yeah, no, I got that from Andy Samberg's character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's a show.
No.
That was coming.
Okay, well, it's the Mark 7. I mean, what else do I need to say? It takes on fucking Loki and all the aliens in New York. I think this is like arguably one of the coolest suits in the entire MCU. It does a lot. So it looks phenomenal. The
Yeah.
shots came out and I was like, God damn.
I think the chest looks a little big, and I think the neck is a little low. But
I think it looks like that in the movie.
I think it might look like in the movie because of the missile
Yeah.
pods that are on the
Yeah.
shoulders. But it's definitely one of those figures that I think if you miss out at retail, like good luck.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is going to be up there. One of the best Avengers films, one of the best armors, one of the armors that did the most in terms of the story. I know it's a little expensive, $430. Comes with a diorama base, a bunch of changed up parts. You can transform it to the pod mode. Seth, what do you think about this?
Dude, I already have it pre-ordered.
Really? Did you get the
Yes.
collector's edition? The
Yes.
exclusive?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
I could not resist. I was like, I kept looking at it. As soon as they announced it, I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Okay, yeah, I need it. I need it. I totally need it.
Yeah.
Which Iron Man do you have?
45. I have,
You have the
45,
45. You have the
50. I have the,
Ironmonger, which is an Iron Man, but it's like in that
yeah.
art.
I have the 4.
You have the 4?
Yeah, I
The
have the
diecast one?
Yeah.
With the gantry?
No,
Okay.
just the 4.
And then
I actually really like the 4. I think it's a really underrated suit. It
Yeah.
doesn't do anything,
But
I
it's
love
really
the
good.
4.
yeah.
Looking at
Um,
these pictures, I've been very hesitant to go down the Iron Man rabbit hole, but this kind of makes me
I'm
want to do it.
surprised you
Yeah.
don't own an Iron Man yet.
I've been very hesitant to
I
go
think
down
you
that
should
rabbit
buy
hole.
this one, and then if you don't like it, or
This
even if you like
motherfucker.
it,
This
just
motherfucker.
let me have it.
Mervin says that he wants the Mark 7, but he also thinks that he wants the Mark 6 more. I love the Mark 6. That is a fantastic figure.
The Mark 6 was cool. I
would pick the Mark 6 over this one personally.
No, I would get the 7.
Yeah.
Personally, in
Oh.
my own opinion.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
wrong,
we know how your opinion is.
but actually, the Mark 6 is in 2 movies, so
Yeah.
it's at the end of 2, and then at the beginning of
Avengers. Yeah.
And he saves the fucking.
Yes, I know. Mark 6 does the most.
The
out of
Mark
any
6
suit.
is pretty fucking cool. But
Yeah.
aesthetically, I think this is probably the coolest one after the 46.
Yeah.
Some people are complaining about the knees. I don't really get it. I mean, they look fine to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also the paint job, they're saying it's too matte.
I think they styled
the
them
thing-
after Manny's.
Right. The thing about the Iron Man paint jobs in the film is they're very matte, very
Yeah.
satin. If you look at the Hot Toys figures, they tend to be very glossy, and a lot of us are used to seeing that. But if you look at the Hot Toys Mark III over there on the right, and
Yeah.
if you compare it to the actual CGI model, that they look nothing alike. Like
Yeah.
the Mark III is like a satin red, like a satin burgundy.
Oh,
This
Yeah.
is like a candy red,
Yeah.
and that goes for even like the 46. Like almost all the suits, they're like very idealized paint jobs, whereas in the films they're very subtle, very understated. But I think they made a good step to make the Mark 7 like that. It's heavily weathered and the paint job is very toned down. But some people are complaining. Now there was a little bit of drama here. The Hot Toys shipper box community is begging Sideshow to double box their figures because this box shipper box here is a little bit more intricate than a standard MMS plain cardboard shipper box. And Sideshow is basically saying that because it's larger than an average Hot Toy, they're unable to pack it out. And to me, that just seems so lazy. Like the pack out, you pay more for it. And I assume you also pay the higher rate because even an average size Hot Toys figure getting packed out is being put into a bigger box. And so, of course, that's going to increase the shipping rate. We have Dan Moss, the shipper god, basically begging Sideshow to do, and he's started the hashtag Linda PLS and Kimberly PLS, if you want to use those on Instagram, to try to get Sideshow's attention about this. But it just seems so wild that a company that is charging people just ridiculous amounts of money overseas, with the taxes, the tariffs, and all that stuff, and the conversion rates, for them to say like, oh, we can't find a box big enough for this, so sorry. And that's why this gentleman here is protesting hashtag Save Our Shippers, double pack Iron Man Mark 7, hashtag pack out Mark 7, hashtag Shippers Lives Matter.
When do you think this figure's coming out?
It's already out.
Well,
In the United States, you mean?
wasn't it just still up for pre-order, or you could just go buy it?
I've told this guy this lesson like 3 times. Okay, so it's out in Hong Kong. So people that got batch 1 Hong Kong, so like the initial people that went,
Yeah.
they have their figures already.
Right.
People that ordered from like, Toys Wonderland, the people that got the first batch, those guys have their figures already.
Right.
At this point, you're waiting for it to enter Sideshow's warehouse and be distributed by them. So it says up for pre-order, but in the other half of the world, distribution from Hot Toys, it's already been released.
And if you're somebody who's waiting for this, you're waiting for Sideshow to slap a nice label on your shipper and ruin it.
Hashtag double pack Mark 7.
Right.
I don't really care.
So,
when
I mean, it's
any minute.
like probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks is going to be released.
Wow.
If not, sometimes they take a while. Sometimes they take 2 months, but it's already been about 2 weeks.
So maybe I could see if
I mean-
Steven could snag one for me.
I'm going to say
has 4
something.
Doesn't he?
Steven, yeah, I told him to order like as many as he could, and he ordered like 3 or 4.
I'm
So.
gonna message him tomorrow.
Ooh.
I
Dean,
need-
did
Get
you
it.
Needs it.
Get it.
Time out. Before we go any further, did you lie to me, Dean?
Did
I was at Steven's the other day, and there was a day that you were supposed to come, and you didn't the second time that you abandoned me.
Right.
And Steven was like, yeah, Dean has to come here. He's supposed to pre-order his Mandalorian. And I was like, that's funny. Dean told me he already pre-ordered the Mandalorian. You son of a bitch. Did you lie to me?
No. I did pre-order it, but I just hadn't gone in there and signed for it.
Oh,
but we
okay,
did it
okay.
digitally.
Okay.
You know what?
Sir, I extend this hand of apology.
I never
okay,
got
'cause-
invited to Stevens. What the hell?
That is a damn lie. I put it in the group chat. I said, anyone who wants to be there, I'll be there from this day to this time. And no one showed up for the second time in a row.
I wanted to. I was busy that day.
You were busy that day.
Wait. I didn't get to finish my thought. So on the shipper thing, I'm going to say this,
Stripper
and it's
thing.
probably going to
Shipper.
Oh, I was
Shipper.
like, yo.
That's
It's
our,
gonna
that's
piss
our
somebody
other,
off.
That's our other podcast.
Strippers license.
when I get my Mark 7, I'm going to take the shipper, I'm going to smash it down, and I'm going to throw it in a trash can,
No, you're not.
and it's going to get recycled.
No,
because
here's
I
what-
do not give a shit about the shipper.
No, you're not.
That's fair.
No, you need to bring it here to the studio. I'm going to frame it in a shadow box. I'm
No.
going to put it on the wall.
I might set it on fire and post it to a bunch of different groups just to piss people off.
You were a
Insert the Beavis and Butthead
horrible
reference.
piece.
Or if you happen to get one that's pretty nice, See what people will offer to buy.
That's
for.
true. I might.
Yeah.
I might.
Put it on
Let's-
eBay and then cancel their fucking order.
Let's
and then set it on fire.
Be like, hey, send me your email. They give you their email. You cancel their order, and then you send them a video. Diabolical.
Let's talk Hot Toys R2D2. This is the deluxe
Yeah,
version,
yeah.
released in Hong Kong this week, and I have to say, this thing is stunning. Pretty much has every attachment, every accessory that you would ever think you'd ever need.
Possibly more.
Yeah.
Probably
Right.
more. There's some that I don't even recognize on this damn thing.
Yeah.
Comes with the remote. Comes with some light up lamp, and light up the eyes, or not the eyes, but like the little LED indicators on the figure light up.
Here.
I have to say, I watched Justin's Collections review
Mhm.
of this, and I think this is I will preface this with, I haven't watched his Mark 7 review yet, but when I watched this last week, this was going to be, I'm going to change my nomination to Hot Toys R2D2 Figure of the Year.
Wow.
Ooh.
And like I said, that's without having seen the Mark 7 review yet, but this thing is stunning. Just how clean everything is. Like, you use magnets to open the different panels. Everything seems well built.
Mhm.
But the Sideshow one, it seemed like really flimsy, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and because you had that figure,
Mhm.
and this just seemed just miles above what I was expecting. Having owned the original one, this is just somehow a fantastic upgrade. Paint job,
Yeah.
accessories, everything.
Yeah, because that original Hot Toys R2 kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I have it.
I bought yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Because
it.
you got the Shigoken one. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like way better.
Dude, the Chigogan one's still on BBTS. I almost bought it the other day.
Well, that's because they re-released it. I think they made more.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Because they were doing that cash back, BBTS store cash back,
Mhm.
and they had it for like $200.
Yeah.
And I forgot what they were giving you back, but I was like, tempting, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like the rivets because they're not accurate at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have the first Hot Toys one. I haven't watched the review on it, so I can't say for sure.
Mhm.
But I much prefer just having the R2 with nothing opening and flapping open. And
Yeah.
now I don't know how solid this one is because I haven't watched, but I'm realistically never using any of those accessories anyway.
That's a fair point.
So there are some people who do diorama. I get it. I
Yeah.
don't do that. So for me, this is an easy pass because I have the first one.
Mhm.
But all that being said, this is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So good on Hot Toys for making this figure. This is a picture of all the accessories that you get. You get the Leia
Holy
stuff. I
shit.
mean, it's staggering how many things that you get with
The
this
Leia
figure.
stuff is pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah, I even like that the lamp from Dagobah plugs into a port on R2. Doesn't power the LED. But like the fact that they went that far to do that, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck, dude, that's amazing.
No, I will say the Sideshow one at least came with the table for Leia.
Yeah.
And that was cool
Um,
because the light up feature was in the table. And it made it
Yeah, I guess since you mentioned that, I think the only thing this one doesn't come with is the Jabba accessories, like the
Yeah.
little bartender things. But I mean, you get like the freaking Death Star plans, you get the restraining bolt, Luke's saber.
the
I mean,
chain
you
cutter
get like,
from-
yeah, fuck, dude, you get like almost everything. that
Yeah,
you
that's
need.
cool. Is that Luke Saber? Yeah.
Yeah, it's remarkable how detailed this figure is. Eric Killmonger is an imminent arrival from Sideshow, and we added this to the show sheet last week, but a lot of people that got this email, for example, Chris Letty just did a live unboxing of his Killmonger like 10 minutes before we started recording.
Uh-huh.
So, people have already gotten their Killmongers, and I got to chat with these people. Maybe I can find someone willing to deal. The Hot Toys movie promo Spider-Man was also in imminent arrival. Did not have an email screenshot to pull up on this one, but a lot of people posted that they were getting theirs very soon. So that is pretty neat.
That's
Dean, you
awesome.
ordered this one, or was that Manny that ordered this one?
I think it was Manny
Manny.
because I
Okay.
have the.
Oh, because you have that one.
I have the
already.
deluxe.
Yeah. Toys Era The Laughter was released. And I'm going to start on this slide here with these prototype pictures. Now, when you buy third party, sometimes you really get impressed.
Right.
Case in
Yeah.
point, the Advisors Sensation. That was a fantastic figure.
Mm-hmm.
Other times, And this release, I'm about to show you this next slide. This is graphic content, ladies and gentlemen.
Cover your eyes.
Weak hearts be warned.
You don't want to see it.
This almost puts into question how good the Toys Era $180 comedian is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That is the in-hand photo of the Toys Era laughter, and this figure is awful.
Dude, I just saw Raider's face.
Some dude
In my
was
peripheral. Holy shit. That's
Some-
exactly
I'm sad I missed it.
some guy was like, oh, excuse the crappy cell phone pic. This is like the figure, and it's like, dude, no. Like,
No,
you
like-
could have took a DSLR of that thing. It would not have looked any better.
No photos. No camera's gonna make that look good. It looks like dog shit.
This looks. We have our Collecting Weekly scale, and it starts at the top with shrink ray, and it ends at the bottom with dog shit. And this is absolute dog shit. And
This
it's not
might be
even.
worse.
It's not
than dog
even
shit.
just the paint. It's like the tailoring is bad. The tie looks awful. The collar looks awful. The jacket I can't comment on because the pictures didn't really show it, but there's a nasty seam line going through the middle of this. And I know that seam lines are oftentimes unavoidable, especially for these smaller companies where they don't really have the time to do that, like the time and the budget to do that.
Yeah.
Some people are saying potentially this figure turned out the way it did because of a lack of pre-orders, and maybe that is the case. I mean, obviously that funds the creation of the figure, but this just looks awful. I just legit cannot believe how terrible this looks.
It's
I can't
Awesome.
From a
say-
company like Toys Era that released the Cable, which is a fantastic figure,
Yeah.
and Colossus, or what's his
Yeah.
name, the Steel guy, that Colossus.
Colossus,
yeah.
yeah.
Colossus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just looks awful, and so I really, really hope that that this is not a sign of the quality you can expect with the comedian. I know Toys Era made a really weird move with the comedian a week ago. The pre-orders were supposed to last for quite a while, and they cut them off. Like they gave people a day notice on TNS and other websites, like, hey, pre-orders are actually closing today,
Yeah.
24 hours from now. And I'm wondering why they did that. And seeing this
Maybe there
after
were
the
so
fact,
many.
it could be, but I don't know, man. This just looks awful. We could spend a whole hour talking about this.
Yeah.
On to better news. 3A Prime, and this is air quotes here. I'm saying air quotes released. And the reason why I say air quotes, because the people that are reviewing this figure that have it in hand are mentioning that they have review samples or production samples.
Right.
Yeah.
So this figure is released in the sense that you can watch people's reviews of the final product. But as far as getting into your hands, I think you might have to wait a few more months. But this figure looks astonishing. This is everything that the Toys Era laughter wanted to be and more. This is absolutely insane. The articulation. Some people are saying that the scale is a little small, but keep in mind these are 190-ish, and they do have a scaled. I think it's like a twice as tall figure, and it's
Yeah.
like $600 of these characters, of Bumblebee and Optimus. So
Mm.
if you want the larger scale figures, they do have an option for you. And the larger scale, they have more articulation, more. I think some of them have like individual finger articulations and the like. But these just look amazing.
For
It-
sure.
I'm like almost speechless when I was watching the reviews.
I thought Bumblebee was good,
Dude,
but
this thing
this
is-
Yeah, I was blown away by Bumblebee, but this is holy.
I've been saying this for a long time. I need at least just one Optimus in my collection.
yes.
I'm pretty sure this is it.
This definitely has to be it. Like if you like, movie Optimus and G1
And
Optimus,
G1,
this is
exactly.
like the pinnacle. This is the best you're gonna get.
And it's a really great size.
Yeah.
Yes.
not too
I mean, it's
small.
bigger than the Bumblebee. It's
Right.
like in scale with the Bumblebee. So
Right.
that's probably
Yeah.
like 10 or 11 inches tall, maybe even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. This is a fantastic figure. I know Steven said he's going to order this one too, I think.
Yeah, I talked to him about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need this.
Get it?
Well, so we'll see. Maybe we'll have one in the.
Whenever Steven gets, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
here's another shot there of the Optimus. The
Dude, it
silhouette
looks
is
so
perfect.
fantastic.
God, that looks fantastic. The one thing I don't like about the Bumblebee is the joints are way too tight.
Yeah,
Anytime which is a good thing, but anytime I move anything on that figure, I feel like I'm going to break it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not because it's fragile, but because the tolerances are so tight.
I feel like there's a lot of metal in this, right?
Oh yeah, that you could put that figure in a socket. Fucking
I feel like this one's not gonna have almost any.
no, I think
Just by looking at it and hearing it, it
Mm-hmm.
didn't sound like it.
Hmm.
Because I remember
I
like
don't know.
I remember handling Bumblebee and like thinking like, holy shit, like
I guess we'll have to see when,
This thing is
when you get it
hefty.
in hand. But,
yeah.
next up, Custom Corner, we have a Jazz Inc. diorama update of the Batmobile. This is the first painted prototype alongside, I believe, the 1/12th or maybe the RC version. And it looks pretty good. I think the paint looks fine.
Yeah.
One thing to point out, Dean, we were mentioning this in our group chat, is we weren't sure if the BVS Batman was going to fit in the cockpit.
Yeah, because he's very stocky.
He's very stocky. And so Yost said that this is I think he said this is the first finished prototype. They're doing a second prototype, but he did mention in the video, inside this video, that this would not be released until they got the sizing right that the Batman could fit.
Oh, okay.
So this
Okay.
is not the final prototype. This is like, V 1.0 or whatever.
Yeah.
So definitely looking really good. He showed some 3D renders. He put up a video on his channel, Jazzing Dioramas, showing 3D renders of like the different options. I think this is like the basic version, but there's also going to be like an ultimate and a deluxe version where like the doors actually open the way they do in the film and tires can rotate and the drivetrain can move. So definitely a good looking prototype here.
Yeah.
And some people were saying that the paint looks a little different than the Hot Toys one, but to me this paint looks good. He showed the actual Batmobile, the physical prop in daylight compared to his, and they look spot on.
Oh, nice.
Hot Toys prototype, I think some people were saying it was more like a gunmetal throughout. But I think seeing Yost's pictures with the actual prop, I think it looked pretty good.
This thing is just so huge. Like,
Oh, this
I
is going to
can't
be a
even-
centerpiece.
I
For
can't
sure.
even think of where
Yeah.
I would even begin to think about this buying one.
Well, you have Iron Batman, so I mean, you don't need the Batmobile.
Right.
But yeah, this
Iron
this
Batman's
could take up like a
coolest.
whole desk, like the one I have over here. I mean, this is going to be a massive
Oh,
display
for
piece.
sure.
Dean, let's talk about what really grinds my gears.
What is it?
So, Spook is going on right now. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But a lot of people are complaining about this year's Spook. Spooktacular by Citro.
Why?
Why are they doing that, Dean?
I don't know.
They are doing that because Spooktacular is a event October 24th to October 31st every year. They give away over $5,000 in giveaways, and that's in the form of statues and toys and the like. Now, that $5,000 does not include the RP that they're doing, rewards points. Those are same as cash, non-expiring, and those are in the form of 6-digit codes that are released randomly throughout the day for various amounts. Now, the code amounts are the same. So if you redeem a code, all four of us redeem a code, it's going to be the same amount. It's not like a random, you just enter it in and maybe you win like a more amount than somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the $1 codes, those are usually up for about 10 minutes. The $2 codes are usually up for about 1 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes. The $5 codes are usually like 1 to 3 minutes. Those codes go fast. A lot of people are complaining that I just don't have time for this. I'm at work. I can't be on my phone all day. This is stupid. This is just the
Right.
worst thing ever. And you have to realize Spook is not for the casual consumer. Spooktacular is for the person that's on their phone all day, that's interacting, because Sideshow, their business, they run, 8 to 5, from 9 to 5, whatever. They do live streams throughout the day. They do toy things throughout the day. They do all kinds of things throughout the day. And that's how these codes are dropped on their Twitter, on their Instagram, on their Facebook, wherever they might be posting. And we've gotten so efficient as collectors, we have code groups. John Martino has 2 code groups, each with 250 people in them, that all we do is when we get a code, you put it in there. Everyone who's in the chat gets a notification. You can put the code in. So if you think I think at this point, they probably get away about $50. Let's just say the average person in a code chat has like $20. Times it by 500, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's just John's group. That's not, the chat that we have. That's not the chat that's on other groups and other, 1/6 scale network. There's so many groups, so many chats. We just gotten so efficient that Sideshow's no longer doing like a 10-minute $5 code. They're doing a 1-minute $5 code because fucking 1,000 people plus are in groups and getting them instantly. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bogging down the fucking website.
yeah, so that's why my meme here. So the last 2 years of Spook, I've made memes of people get kicked out of chats, and it's fucking hilarious. Dean, we'll talk more about the memes a little later for the Austin trip update. But this is one of my favorite ones here. It's when the Sideshow drops a $5 code, but the site is lagging, and it's the dog praying. It's, hey God, it's me again. And yeah, I've missed a few codes, but I think my haul is about $40 so far.
I think I'm at 14.
Yeah.
I sleep late, so
Yeah, the first year that they were doing Spook, I didn't really get it. So I did the first code one time and I got $1 and I was like, oh, that's stupid. I thought I was gonna get like $10. Because I thought it was like, I didn't know that they added up. I thought it was like you just have $1 that you have to use right there on a figure. And it's like, I'm not gonna buy a figure because I got $1 off. I didn't realize they stack. And that's the thing, they stack like actual rewards points where you can buy a figure. So I bought a Hot Toys Iron Man that was like a $400 figure. I got $13 back in rewards. Maybe it was 18. But throughout Spook, I've gotten twice that amount. So they've given me as much rewards for free for watching their live videos and being on Twitter or whatever, as if I bought 2 Iron Man. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
And some people are saying like, well, they should do more rewards because if I got a $20 in rewards and I'm buying an $800 statue, they're still making money hand over fist. And maybe that's true. But at the same time, you have to think they're giving away thousands and thousands of dollars to collectors like us just for being a part of their different groups and on social media. So
yeah,
it really grinds my gears when people complain about that because, frankly, I feel like I just feel like there's really nothing to complain about.
well, and the complaint, I agree. The complaining's unfounded because I have gotten, I go to bed early because I get up pretty early. I get up at 6 a.m. every day. I've seen codes that have been posted in the groups at 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Obviously, there's people that don't work at 4 in the morning that have plenty of time to go and type that code in.
Yeah.
So,
well, the thing is, they're spacing them out. Like 4 in the morning in California time is like, 6 or 7 in New York. Like,
yeah.
So I don't mind. I mean, I've missed some of those codes in the morning because I'm asleep, but people are saying like, well, I'm too busy to work. And it's like, okay, well, if you're working and like you're making a lot of money, then maybe you don't need the code.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just like, I think people want everything to be on their own time, on their own schedule. They want to be given this thing when Spook is something you have to work for.
Yeah,
like we were in Austin yesterday and we had like 3 or 4 codes drop while we were in Austin. We had to literally stop what we were doing, go to the side, stop the conversations, try to log on to the friggin' Sideshow website. And I will say the only complaint I have is the site is, not handling the traffic super well.
Yeah.
Especially that first $1 code that dropped, that site was down for like 10 minutes.
Even with the 5G internet we were getting.
Yeah, it was not good. Well, I think that's more on the server side, but so that's my grinds my gears. I think people need to realize what Spook is and what it isn't. And if you're not getting codes because you're too busy at work, then you're not really the type of customer that Sideshow is trying to encourage to buy. People that are watching live streams all day, that are interacting with them all day, that's really who Spook is aimed to benefit. And I do feel for you if you're like a nurse or like someone that can't be on their phone. I get it, that sucks, but at the same time, Sideshow is choosing to target people that can be on their phones. And if I was in the population that couldn't, I'd be a little salty, but I wouldn't put a huge ass post on Sideshow's group and try to bitch them out. We give Sideshow a lot of crap on this podcast, but this is one thing this year that I think they're doing extremely well compared to last year when Spook was frankly a shadow of itself the year prior.
I feel like I've gotten way more in codes this year than the years before, or at least the year before.
I think this might be the best year that I've been collecting, including the first year when we got like $60, because that year I didn't miss any codes. This year I've missed a ton and I've already racked up like $42.
Yeah.
So, I think last year I got like $4 or $5. And it was like really devastating. This year, I'm already like triple that. So,
Rainer, do you do Spook?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gotten much in the way of codes this year. I've been not paying attention to my phone, so I fall into that other group. But I'm not complaining.
Damn it, Rainer.
He's not a complainer though. He's not grinding our gears.
That's good. That's good. So we had an interesting discussion on Ox, and I apologize if you put feedback because we missed that Tuesday.
Yeah.
So this was from a discussion on another group, but the question was should sellers be responsible for damage or missing items from sealed, long sold out items? For example, if you brought a new DX11 Joker and it arrives factory sealed but missing a part, would you file a claim against the seller or seek a partial refund? I'm going to let Dean give his answer, and then we'll go around the table and we'll talk about some of the answers from Ox.
I think yes and no. If it's sealed in the shipper.
Correct. That's the big thing. If it's sealed in the shipper, that's what we're talking about.
Then no, it's not the seller's fault. how would he have known that?
Correct.
He got it on faith just like everyone else. It sucks. That's just the luck of the draw. I don't think you need to be making PayPal claims and ripping this dude off because something was missing. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Now, if you got a figure with the shipper open, that's different because Hot Toys aren't really sealed at all.
Yeah, you can just like
Take
open
the
the
tape
box
off the bag and just slip it open.
and then retape it.
Yeah, it's not like a Black Series that has like very specific tape
Yeah.
at different locations. You just slide the top of the box off out of the bag. Then yeah, obviously that. But if it's a sealed shipper, I feel like, hey, like them's the breaks, man. Like that sucks.
What do you think, Rainer?
I agree with Dean. I think that if it's sealed, it's tough luck. I mean, it is what it is. Some bad stuff happens. You can't blame the person who's selling it for not cracking it open to open it to make sure everything's okay before he sends it your way.
What do you
I
think,
mean, I'm right there with y'all. How can they have known if they didn't open the shipper package?
Right.
Unless you want to be one of those people that's open to inspect only.
Oh my!
Seth? I've never done that. I don't know what the meme is. I've never done that.
That's Greg.
Dying, yeah.
Greg's the open to inspect guy.
So I have here an example. This is $850 for a DX11 Joker sealed, and on the right I have a open DX11 Joker for $540. So the difference between sealed, in shipper, and open in shipper is quite staggering.
Right.
We're talking 300 plus, and Brian says they should offer to inspect and record it to cover themselves as well. If the buyer opts out, then they are in the clear. And let me get some water real quick. Got a frog in my throat.
I'm like a dick. Zach, I'm so sorry. Come back, please.
Please come back.
You're a bad person.
Baby, come back.
You can blame it all on me.
I have expected Mobley to start dancing to that one. Shot a little buff coming out of the case.
No, it's not Charlotte Buff.
Was that that was Shia LaBeouf in the first one, wasn't it?
Well, that's not that movie.
Yeah, but I'm quoting the first Transformers when Bumblebee does "Baby Come Back."
Oh, he does do it in that movie. You are correct. I was like, that's the prequel.
It's the same character though. My mind operates on a plane that you cannot comprehend.
That's true.
He didn't even argue. He was like, yeah.
I've seen his search history.
Oh shit.
It's like, holy crap! How much porn does this guy watch?
Rule 34.
Okay, I'm back.
Buzz Killington. That's hot in here, man. Get this thing going.
Mhm. It's just you, Dean.
All
You
these,
need to chill out.
all these
You're so hot.
thick bodies.
You're so hot, Dean.
Thank you.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
What it?
Actually, okay, 3, 2, 1. So Brian says, yeah, it should be, but they should offer to inspect and record it to cover themselves as well. If the buyer opts out, then they're in the clear. Again, I feel like, if I had a DX11 Joker, recorded it, and I opened it, and there was damage, and the guy said, I don't want it anymore because there's damage, you just lost $300. The difference between a sealed DX11 and an open DX11.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get what Brian's saying. Brian does a lot of eBay, so he has a lot of experience with, things like this. But the price difference is so staggering, that as a potential seller, I don't really know that I would ever offer that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I had
That's
asked,
the
like,
luck of the draw. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
I don't want to call it gambling, but that's what you're doing. Paying, it's high stakes.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's high dollars, high stakes.
And I personally don't ever think that sealed is worth it because of that reason. I'd rather someone open it and have already dealt with all the BS and returns and the like. And especially when you're dealing with a figure that's sold out, like a DX11 Joker, where parts are quite expensive. Seth, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think if you're buying the DX11 at the $850, obviously you have money to spend, right?
Mhm.
So if you open it and it happens to be, what are the odds that,
A hand is missing.
a hand is missing?
Look,
It can't be that, it's probably not even 1% that went out with a missing hand or something like that,
Right.
So it's either something that's really insignificant that's easy to miss, or if it is something big, just buy yourself a new hand. There's completed.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Maybe like
You
you
know.
can work out a deal with the buyer or the seller.
No, if I'm selling this thing at $850 and the buyer is like, I want you to open it on camera, inspect it, and ship it to me,
Save me some of this.
you're paying me at least half of the difference. Does that make sense? If I'm going to miss out on $300 because this
I get what
thing-
you're saying. Like
you're giving me $150
if you decide to,
PayPal right now to open it.
yeah,
You're
Yeah.
paying me to open it. I think that's fair.
can people pay Dean to open things? I mean, what's his rate?
that's his new. That's
I'll pay
his
Dean
career.
like $12 to open up
Yeah.
something. No shirt though. Cliff
But you
says,
see what- yeah, that's-
I get what you're saying. That might be a compromise there.
like,
Yeah.
Cliff says it's not the seller's fault if it's truly factory sealed, and that's the camp that I'm in. Ian says, of course they should be responsible. They are selling it. They choose to buy a figure and not inspect it when it arrived to them, and instead sit on it for years before they sell it on again without checking. They should be prepared to issue a partial or full refund.
If I'm
Yeah.
giving you a full fucking refund, you're sending my goddamn figure back.
Well, of
Agreed.
course, obviously.
Yeah.
But then you have a figure that's not worth.
$850.
You lost $300.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a nightmare scenario, but this was such a hot topic on another group. I wanted to have this discussion.
So
here.
is this scenario based on like,
not that I know of like an actual thing,
yeah,
but I think people like have opened up figures after a while, specifically like the Iron Man's, the flexible hands. They're made of rubber. Those tend to fade in the box.
yeah.
People get like a sealed Mark 47, and the hands are all faded, and they're upset. But it's like there's nothing that could have been done to prevent that.
Mhm. Okay, so
Yeah, it's
so
a time thing.
for
Or like a
example,
pleather in
I
the box.
bought a Mark V,
You did?
and yeah,
Brag alert.
You didn't say that earlier when I asked
Whoa,
you. about
what-
Iron
you know
Man
what?
head.
shut up.
He won't notice if it's missing.
I will notice if it's missing. I have the Mark V. I had bought it, and then because I'm lazy and I don't always rearrange my figures, I didn't open it for a long time. Now, this is after it had sat at BBTS for like its actual, like the longest amount of time it could sit before they had to ship it.
Mhm.
So they ship it to me. I wait probably another month to open it.
Yeah.
Find out that the little like armor plates on the legs, one of them's broken.
Mhm.
Right. So I contact BBTS and they're like, well, we can't do anything because you would have to ship us the whole thing back. And we can't promise you that you'll get another one because it's long sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I contact Hot Toys because sometimes Hot Toys will replace parts if they have the parts.
You contacted Hot Toys or
Yes,
Seashore?
Hot Toys directly.
Damn, use Google Translate.
And I got an email response back within the week, and they're like, I'm sorry, we can't replace that part because we don't have those parts anymore.
Mhm.
So it's kind of my fault. I didn't open it, But how was I supposed to know that it was broken in the box anyway?
Right.
Like, you just can't know that thing. So I can't see how these sellers would be able to know if you don't open the box.
That's what you're
But-
paying for.
Yeah, you're paying
Unopened.
it for it unopened. So that's the risk that you're taking.
Can I chime in with my 2 cents here?
No, we're moving on.
All
Sorry.
right, fine, whatever. My thing is, okay, if you're getting into an expensive hobby, you've got to be prepared if something happens that sometimes there's not a remedy and you just have to, that's got to be part of the risk.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. High stakes.
Yeah,
High
exactly.
dollars.
I agree.
It's like
So-
it's like gambling on horses. Like sometimes it's gonna win the race, sometimes it's gonna break its leg and die.
I highly doubt that's an everyday thing.
What kind of horse races are you going?
What are you watching Gladiator now?
It's like have you ever seen Death Race, but with horses?
Oh God,
That's a movie I want to see.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's called Ben Hur.
Wow.
That's a great movie.
Steve says it's always the seller's responsibility that something is not as described. Doesn't matter if it's sealed or not. It's up to the seller to assess the risk of selling a figure that's been sat in a box for 5 years, as there's a higher chance something might not be perfect, especially if the figure has any materials that are known to deteriorate. That's a very level-headed answer there.
If they're known to deteriorate, the buyer is taking that chance.
That's true.
That's true.
That is true.
Steve, I love you, but you're wrong.
Wow. Let's move forward here, Rainer. We can talk state of Star Wars for a little bit.
It sucks. Let's go on.
Episode 9 trailer was released. Rainer, I'll let you lead this bit off. What did you think of the trailer if you've watched it?
I gotta say, it's got me back intrigued. I actually got my tickets for opening night this go
What the
around.
hell?
Oh
Did
my
you get me
God.
one?
Well, no, I got the Regal Unlimited Pass. I can't get more than one.
Oh my gosh. Dean, what did you think? I know you had a lot of problems with the trailer.
It just looks silly, man.
Now,
Now, Dean was coming at me with, what are they going to do with horses?
They're riding on horseback on top of a Star Destroyer, chasing Star Destroyer. What are you gonna do? That's
Look,
so
man.
silly.
Look, man, if
Is
you're
it-
going to... Hang on, let me...
Oh, and listen to what his rebuttal. Okay,
My rebuttal
This
is-
is bullshit.
Star Wars is a universe where anything can happen and everything happens. In episode 6, the Emperor states that a garrison of his finest troops, the 501st Legion, was stationed on Endor. Those motherfuckers were taken down by a bunch of rebels and some teddy bears. Hashtag Ewoks are goat. But still, you're telling me the Emperor's finest
Okay,
Legion was
one-
taken down by savage animals.
He did not say Ewoks. He said teddy bears. So fuck him. Two,
I said hashtag
you're
Ewoks are
talking
goat.
guerrilla warfare. The stormtroopers weren't prepared for an ambush. They're like, what is this?
That's true.
Also, have you played Battlefront 2? They're mean as shit.
2, I know we don't like episode 1, but episode 1, Anakin Skywalker blindly flies a fucking Naboo starfighter and destroys a whole
Okay.
goddamn Trade Federation blockade.
Okay, we don't talk about episode.
So don't
What?
be coming at me talking about
Okay.
space horses aren't real life.
It was
Okay,
inspired by
okay.
Jar Jar.
Episode 7 and 8. Kylo Ren is intimidating. No. Have you seen his face? He's a nerd.
I mean, those ears are intimidating because
Yeah.
they're so large.
Yeah.
So did you like the trailer? I thought it was okay.
I thought it was.
It's
The one thing I will say, I like the C-3PO thing, and then Dean pointed out, and the more I sat on it, like the whole like how does C-3PO even know these people are? I get it. Maybe he spends a lot of time with them in the movie and gets to know them, you know.
Wait, I
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Yeah, you were like, why those aren't even his real friends.
I didn't say that. That
Okay,
wasn't me.
well, maybe
I
Yeah.
saw you having that conversation. That wasn't me.
I don't
the
know.
one-
But apparently, this takes place like 2 years or 3 years later.
yeah, so they could have spent time
C-3PO has
together.
been like chilling it out.
I mean,
That's all.
Luke knew R2 for a day before he's like, yo, that droid and me have been through a lot together.
Yeah.
Like, bro, y'all met today. Like,
one thing I did take
They
away.
did go through a lot together in one day.
I will say.
One thing I did take away from that trailer, though, is all hail the glorious return of the Y-wing. Just saying, because I thought those Resistance bombers and Jedi were laughable, to say the least.
Mervin says he's excited to see this movie, but nothing in the trailer wowed me. Well,
Yeah.
Mervin, you
I'll
know,
watch it.
there's wrong opinions and then there's right opinions.
And you just
Yeah,
happen
and
to
I-
have a bunch of wrong ones.
And I will say this about the trailer: it was impressive, but is it an indicator that the movie is going to be everything we hope it to be? We'll have to see.
Mervin
But it
says
did suck me back in though, and
Yeah.
I've been very anti Star Wars for a little while right now.
Mervin says they're riding the nerfs to get off the ships taking off. It's assumed they're riding the nerfs as the Star Destroyers are coming out of the ground and they're trying to ride to get off the ground. That they're
Merv,
on.
you know what happens when you assume you make an ass of yourself. I'm fine because I think it looks stupid.
But so,
Let's,
what are we even arguing again at this point?
I don't know.
I just
Let-
everything about this sequel trilogy has gotten me in a tizzy. I don't know what I like or hate. I know I hate The Last Jedi. This movie could be good. I'm hopeful because at least it's J.J. Abrams back at the helm.
Yeah.
let's
But
Dean, how do you like the mic like this? I feel like you're enjoying it a little bit.
I mean, I can't see south.
That's okay.
I only see half of you.
But it's my better half, so.
But
Deadline reports that DB and Weiss are parting ways with Lucasfilm and their intended Star Wars trilogy. Their statement was, getting to talk about Star Wars with George Lucas and the current Star Wars team was the thrill of a lifetime. However, they signed a 9-figure deal with Netflix, and as such, they are no longer producing their trilogy. which really leaves the franchise. I'm very confused because it seems like Rion isn't getting his trilogy. DB and Weiss aren't getting their trilogy.
The
No
whole-
movies are announced after episode 9 that I think I know of. Just seems like a really
The whole thing reeks of PR. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
yeah. And then in news, I don't have a slide for it because it broke a little bit before we started recording. But the Game of Thrones prequel was canned by Netflix after seeing the pilot. So
Ooh.
or HBO, maybe it was HBO.
HBO. not
HBO,
Netflix.
sorry, yeah.
What are you talking about?
So that's that. Let's talk The Mandalorian. Monday night we
Oh
got
my
to
gosh.
see a extended. I don't want to call it a trailer, but a teaser for the release. I thought it looked stunning. So many cool characters that we've seen. I was watching the first trailer and I was like, "That is Carl Weathers." Like I'm 100% sure. And then I watched the interview with him today, and he's definitely in it. So one of my favorite actors, the actor that played Apollo Creed, and also Predator 1.
That's really
Uh,
him.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
dude, I was like, holy shit, is that what I think it is? And then I googled it and it definitely was. So that's really exciting. I'm just super excited for this show. I think I'm gonna get Disney Plus because of it. And
I gotta say, this is like the thing I'm looking forward to the most right now.
When's it come out?
November
12th.
12th.
Oh
okay.
damn! Like pretty much when it launches.
Yeah.
Dude, we should have a watch party for episode 1.
Dude,
for
we
sure.
should just.
I'll be in.
Dude,
I already got my sub on
I already
pre-order.
got Disney Plus.
Ooh, can we
Yep.
your house to watch it?
Dude,
Party
I'll
at
come
Seth's
over.
house. Party at Seth's house.
I still haven't been.
Barbecue at Seth's house.
Yo, he's got
We'll
make
see.
peanut
We'll
butter
see.
hot dogs.
If not, I'll be glad to host.
Oh man, that is wild. So we led off with this at the beginning of the show.
I gotta stand up.
We had a toy event Sunday at Cooter Brown Saloon, and boy, that was almost a shootout of the OK Corral at Cooter Brown's. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
So diabetes.
Tell
So
me what.
I'll say.
So
Sorry.
let me preface this that I really would like to roast this beef.
You really
or,
like to preface things.
Well, I just there's a beef that happened, and I would like to for it not to be happening.
Get it
Um,
out there in the open, dude. Just
he-
talk about
He
it.
likes to
About
release
6
his
months
beef.
ago.
Yeah, he does.
All right, let's settle with the
Bathroom humor.
trying to have a serious podcast and Seth is here being a class clown. So the toy event was awesome. There's like 12 vendors there. Manny was there being a vendor. Got to talk with him and Marissa, which was great. Tony, I think his last name was Ferdine, was there. He was dressed up as the Joker. Got a picture with him. Got a picture with oops, that's the next one. With Jason. My wife went. Her friend Taylor went. And it was a good event. You know, the drinks were really affordable. I was surprised. So I had a few drinks. You know, we were hanging out, buying toys. And this gentleman came up to me and he was like, can I have a word with you? And I was talking with Manny. And I was like, sure. You know, I don't really know what to expect when someone asks to have a word. But I knew something was up when he's like, let's go to the corner of the bar because I don't want to make a scene. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
This
It's a
is
trap.
getting creepy.
Now, my initial reaction when he said that was I thought I was going to be accused of stealing a figure off someone's table. Because at these events, people are walking around, there's toys on tables. Rainer was there as well. There's toys on tables you can walk by, and I imagine if you wanted to, you might be able to steal a toy. But at this point, I only had like 2 or 3 things that I bought, and I could point to who those things were purchased with and explain, you know, this is all legitimate. And so, again, we've been an admin of this group for quite a while. And the gentleman started off the conversation with, I heard that you had a problem with me. And I was kind of confused. And I was like, you know,
He
I-
obviously doesn't know you because you have a problem with everybody.
and I was like, you know, I honestly don't know who you are. And I was like, what is your name? And he told me his name. And it still didn't ring a bell. And I was like, you know, well, what's going on? And he said that, you know, I heard that you were censoring my posts. And I said, you know, we have rules on these groups. And the only time that I ever moderate or potentially censor someone is if they've broken a rule. You know, don't have personal vendettas.
Don't even
Dean,
know you.
and I are, and I'm not saying that you're not, Seth, but we admin a lot of groups and we admin them well to the point that Facebook has invited us to be what's called power admins, where we're sort of like deemed to be significant moderators within our
The
communities.
501st of admins.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, I don't recall, but I don't know the situation. I was like, honestly, there's Zach Spencer and there's another Zach in the admin chat. Maybe it's one of them that was censoring you, but off the top of my head, I honestly can't recall your name and what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I offered to shake his hand, and at this point, I could tell he was kind of upset that I didn't know who he was, and I really wanted to de-escalate because I felt like if I said something smart or if I, was being an asshole, that it could escalate to something more than just a conversation.
Mhm.
I was like, let me shake your hand, buy you a beer, we can figure this out. And he was like, no, I'm not shaking your hand, and walked away very angrily. Really put a damper on the event. I pretty much headed out like right after that because it was like, just didn't really feel comfortable to be there with that conversation having unfolded the way that it did. And, when I took a step back and looked up this person, I did mute him 6 months ago. And in the chat, I muted him because he'd used a racial slur and a sexual remark. And, on some groups, like, that's okay, the sexual remark. The racial slur, I don't think is ever okay, but especially in the way that he used it. And so that was an interesting one because I did it, and I will say this was not the greatest adminning that I've ever done. I didn't let the team know what happened. I was driving. I was going to be at a gas station, and I was at a gas station. I was going to be home in 10 minutes. I was going to let the team know when I got home, get on the desktop, and deal with it. By the time I got home, the other admins were like, you shouldn't have done that. Why'd you do this? And, I basically explained my reason. I showed them what went on. Half the team agreed that it was the correct action. Half the team agreed it was the incorrect action because he was one of our top posters at the time. And so 2 of our admins left the admin team,
Mhm.
and they asked me to reinstate that person because those admins left. When I went to reinstate him, he had already left the group. That was, it was a 12-hour mute. A mute means that you can't comment or post, but you can still view the group. And so he had only served like 2 or 3 hours of the 12-hour mute before he left the group. So his accusation that I censored him was accurate, but I did it because he had egregiously violated a rule. And in that group, we're not the head admin, so we don't make all the rules. It's understood that for big things like that, we can do some form of moderation on our own, but for banning, we need to talk about it with everybody. So I felt that I was well within my realm.
You didn't ban him.
No, I muted him so that we can discuss if he needed to be banned.
Oh,
I didn't know this guy, so I didn't know that he was a very popular.
Regardless of, now I don't really remember this conversation, but I don't care if you're the top. I don't care if it was Manuel, the guy who started the group. Now you can't ban him from his own group, but if he was using that kind of language, it doesn't matter who you are. You should definitely, be punished.
There are some lines you just don't
Yeah,
cross.
and the reason why I muted him immediately was because he was escalating with another member to almost to a fight, like a fist fight, like let's meet up and fight.
Yeah.
Like they were really getting into it with each other with slurs and this and personal remarks and family remarks. And I was like, I'm going to mute both of y'all. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. And then we'll figure out if you need to be unmuted, if you need to be banned, if you need to have a longer mute. And so I felt I was within my
You were.
my operating limits.
Yeah.
And so, I'm really bothered by this. Like, I don't like to know that people don't like me. And so I hope that if I see this gentleman again, then we can hash this out and we can have a beer. And
No, it sounds
put
like he has
us.
this is me saying it, not Zach. But if he's escalating things on threads about toys, obviously he has an anger issue and he's escalating things anyway.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter what the hell you said to him or what you were gonna say to him, it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Plus,
Fuck
he's
that
talking
guy.
about something that happened 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And so normally when I go to these
Yeah,
events,
coming at you like it happened yesterday. I don't know who the fuck you are.
normally when I go to these events, I always have an entourage of people that are bigger than me in case shit like this happens. Because with all the nonprofits that I've run, people get very passionate about certain
Well, I'll
things.
be at the next toy show.
So next toy show, I'm rolling deep with Dean, and I will say, Zach had my back. He watched me when I walked out. I was like, Zach, I need you to watch me in case some shit goes down. You
Oh,
go,
I was eyeballing you the whole time.
if
That was
anyone's
awesome.
passing along this message, I'll be there. So if you listen to this and you have a problem,
I'm gonna pay Jesse $20 to come with me to the event.
What I'm getting from this whole ordeal is that somebody needs to Photoshop Zach as Thanos.
I
and
did
this
that.
other
Someone
guy-
already did that.
I
Someone
did.
already.
Good. There we go. We're on the same page.
hey,
Let's. That's pretty much it for the toy news this week. We're gonna get into some fun discussion though, if
Hell
you
yeah.
guys will
Fun.
have us. And so Dean and I, like I mentioned, we are a part of the Power Admin group, and there's about 150 cities in the world that have what's called the Circle. And the Circle is hand-selected people from that city. Dean and myself were hand-selected.
I
And
wasn't selected.
no, well, I'm trying to get you in there, buddy. And a part of what the Circle is we do bi-monthly, so every other month meetings where we meet with other content creators, we meet with other influencers, and we share best practices. We do usually like a dinner, and then there's usually some lesson that we're able to learn from and improve our ability to admin with the
yeah,
with
they'll
the
ask
people.
us like, what kind of tools could you use? And then usually by the next time or the next,
we have
few
those
times,
tools available.
We have those tools, and it's like, hey, here's a learning opportunity to figure out how to use it, or like, hey, I have this problem, I don't really know how to solve it, and then another admin will be like, oh, that happened to me. This is how I dealt with it.
Yeah,
That's
so
very
there's
cool.
there's a brand
Yeah.
new feature on Facebook that just rolled out, the ability to sort by chronological order, and I know that's a big thing that Jason Nelson was wanting, and that just came out. And at the meeting yesterday, I was told like, hey, you can do that now. So, and when you go on Ox on your phone, just scroll down a little bit, you'll see a very small word "sort" on the right, and then you just click that, and you can sort by most recent or the algorithm. So that's
Learn something new every day.
yeah, so we met at Live Oak, and then we were charter bus to Austin, and so here's Dean and I on the bus, and then we actually went to there's two Facebook headquarters in Austin. They're about like 6 blocks from each other. We went to the wrong, not because of us, but like the bus driver assumed we were going to a different
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, it was like
So we got there an hour early because traffic was non-existent. It was wild.
it was weird.
We made it to Austin like in 30 minutes. Like it was
Wow.
spectacular.
That's
They
crazy.
dropped us off at the 300 block of 6th Street. We needed to be at the
600 block
600 block
of
of
7th
3rd
Street,
Street.
3rd Street, yeah. So we got Starbucks and we were hanging out for a little bit. And while we were in the lobby of the wrong building, we met the Flash, Barry Allen himself.
Yeah.
What a guy! Now this guy
He kind of
Was-
looks like a dick.
was Asian, okay, and he spoke Spanish. He was singing Spanish songs.
Yeah.
Now he was there. He was like a flowergram. Like
Yeah.
someone ordered him to be there to give someone flowers and to sing. I will say perhaps not the most appropriate attire because my man was freeballing it. And
Yeah, if you look at this picture closely, you
I
don't even need
want
to look
to.
at it closely. He's
I don't
fully
want to.
torqued.
now the my most favorite thing about this is we took this and we were in such a good mood. We sent it to the chat
We're like, yeah.
and Manny's like, "Where the fuck are y'all?" And he zoomed in on the member here and
On the
I
number.
died.
Dude, we were, by the time that it popped up in the chat,
We were already left.
we were walking to the next building, and he was like struggling to get to the next block because he was laughing so hard.
Dude, my side started cramping. I couldn't breathe. I almost threw up. I was laughing so hard. Dude. It was so funny.
it was hilarious.
Listen, if
And
you
so-
send this guy with flowers to go sing to somebody you like, he's going home with that girl.
Bro, he is packing some schmeat. So
No, she looked super annoyed.
yeah, dude. And the best part was he was in the lobby for like half an hour, and the Facebook employees were like, "The fuck, dude! Like, get out of here!" Because he was just like at reception bothering them. It was very awkward, but he was a nice guy. Now, when we got to the Facebook building, it's very interesting because we had to use our photo IDs and we had to take pictures, and they gave us these little badges with who we were the visitors of. And the thing that I found interesting was the thing that impressed me the most was the elevators, because the elevators, the buttons to select the floors were on the outside. So when we went in the elevator, the only options were door open, door closed, and emergency. There's no buttons on the inside. The reason for that is because we didn't have a code or a card that was activated for the security. We could not press any of those buttons.
Huh.
Legit, we could not access anything.
Yeah.
And so
Half the building was
half the building was Bank of America.
Yeah.
The first 12 floors, and then 13 to 25
4,
was Facebook headquarters.
5.
And so this particular building, we went to the 12th floor, and what was really nice is they signed us in. We had to sign some non-disclosure agreements, and they told us like where we could film, what we could film, what we could photograph, what we couldn't photograph, and essentially what parts of with that floor that we could be on. And so we got there, and there was this nice little tree there, and you can see there's only about 25 cards there.
It's a happy
Those
little
were
tree.
those were each card represented one admin from 3 cities. So you can imagine this was like the cream of the crop from each city.
Yeah.
And Dean and myself went. Dean represented 1-6 San Antonio. I came representing Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. And there was all kinds of groups there. There was the woman that we spoke with, Sunday was her name. She did a Latino business group for Latino entrepreneurs in Austin. Sergey and his wife, they were Russian Americans, and they had a group connecting other Russians within the United States,
Cool.
to share their cultural heritage. There was the African American woman. She did it's called Broke Black Woman, for people who were struggling financially and they were African American women. They could join this group, all kinds of groups. And the people there, we're talking admins like Dean and myself, but we're also talking admins that have won $500,000, $1 million grants from Facebook that are amongst our peers that are with us. So, these are people that have met Mark himself, that have, traveled to different Facebook events around the world. Janet, our circle leader, she won a $500,000 grant for her.
50,000.
No, it was 500,000.
She said 50 on the bus, but okay.
Why are you calling me out on this? Anyway,
Because
so
she was upset that
why
she
is
didn't
he
get
the way he
million.
is?
It's
I'm
obviously
in the middle of
because
this
you're
amazing
wrong.
story, and he's trying to
It's obviously because
minorly
you're wrong.
fact
I
check me.
think so.
Okay, well, at any rate, the grand prize was $1 million.
Yeah,
there
I
was
was
one
gonna say.
person there that won that prize.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these are very influential people, and the presentation that they gave us was showing us some of the newest tools. And after the presentation, we got to talk with we had a small group session. It was about 5 people with an actual employee of Facebook. And so
Yes.
we raised some concerns about some
Oh man,
potential people in
we
the
took up
hobby.
the whole time.
We really did. It's supposed to be
They
15
were like,
minutes.
"Oh, we'll give you like 15, 20 minutes to talk to the Facebook employee." And
Now, I will say the people in our group were not annoyed by that fact because they
That's
were
true.
concerned about what we were talking about.
yeah, as soon as-
Specifically fraudulent copyright claims, which has been a big thing in this hobby. And
Uh-huh.
we actually got an email of a person that's going to help us going forward to, protect the hobby and its creators. So they were really willing to help. We had a wonderful meal. They had some catering. Dean, they had a baked baked potato bar.
yeah,
That bacon was fantastic.
dude.
Now,
that
this
sounds
this
awesome.
Facebook thing is interesting because if you're an employee there, the food that is free. You go to the cafeteria, you don't pay for your meal. On each floor, they have like a giant snack bar with like cereal, chips, like pretty much every drink you could want. Like gas station snacks like beef jerky and like all this stuff, and you just take what you want.
packs of gum.
Yeah, this is what this is right here. There was
Facebook gum.
right. This is Mark's gum. There was a vending machine. I thought it was so interesting. This vending machine had computer parts. You would
Hard
go up,
drives.
hard drives, wireless keyboards, mouse, headphones, and we're talking like nice Apple headphones, like not like shitty, Beats. Like I mean, there was everything you could want tech wise in there for your
That
job.
sounds shitty.
No. I'm saying that there were Beats in there.
Oh,
There were, all kinds of. I'm not saying like there were cheap headphones there. Like all this stuff was like, premier Apple keyboards, and all you do is swipe your badge and it vends it for you, and you don't get charged for it because it's like you need this for your job. Like you need a 3.5 millimeter lightning cable adapter now. You don't want to order on Amazon. You just go down the hall. Every floor has one of those vending machines. It was very interesting.
it was pretty rad.
So we were there for about 3 hours, and
Was it only 3? It felt a lot longer.
yeah, and so we met a lot of really influential people, and they really took our concerns seriously about these copyright claims. About I mentioned that Greg, beautiful angel Greg, is getting banned all the time for using GIFs that y'all allow him to use, and they said they were going to look into that.
Yeah,
there
and
was,
it wasn't like we'll look into that. She like had like a notepad and was like,
and she was like, "Here's my email. We'll follow up with you."
yeah, it was really cool. It felt nice to actually
And Dean, there was
have someone listening to you.
there was a point where you know, sometimes when we go to these meetings, Dean, you and I maybe feel a little inadequate, and we're just like, you know, should we even be here? But this
Yeah.
meeting, like, we really felt like we deserved to be there, like, because of what we've done with the podcast.
I feel like
what
we were like the stars.
dude. I
I'm
will.
not even kidding. Of all the San
Celebrities.
Antonio people, I felt like they were listening to us.
I felt good. I felt really good about the
And San
because,
Antonio
like,
has some
you know,
good
having the
groups.
podcast, like, they were really impressed because Facebook doesn't have a podcasting thing yet. They have like live video, they have, you know, music and stuff. They don't have podcasting, so they were really asking us about how it works and everything and our equipment.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, like, what's the way that Facebook has helped you grow?" And I
And-
was like, "Well, I just joined a toy group, and I was like, next thing I know, I'm adminning it. Then I recommend my friend to admin it, and then with all these connections, I was like, we started our own podcast, and it's doing really well. And without that tool,
Yeah.
and now that we could live stream on our own group, our page, it helps us out tremendously." So
Right.
they were like, "Holy shit! Like, we haven't had anyone like that at least that they've talked to." So
Yeah.
we had a lot of attention.
Rainer, I don't even know if we can be in this room. Look at these two like
I know.
ultra celebrities
Dude,
here.
you're the celebrity. He's a Permian Panther.
They were like, there's this guy that has this group with nothing but Seth. Do you know him? And I was like, yeah.
Dude, we should definitely bring that up next time.
Yeah. So
I
it
feel
was.
like I should be there to talk about my.
Here's
Seth
a picture of Dean and I on the top of the 22nd floor. Dean looking like an absolute babe with the sun behind him.
Thick.
group. Yeah.
And
I'm an all out he comes.
this is from the presentation. Like I said, there's about 35 of us there. So, you know,
He
really.
sneaked this picture. He wasn't allowed to take it.
Yeah, I actually don't think I was allowed to take a picture of the elevator, but I was like, dude, this is fucking cool. So took a picture of that.
Next time they're gonna ban him from the Facebook headquarters. You can't go in. They're like, you took that photo.
Dude, don't fucking say that.
We watched your YouTube, babe.
There's a picture of Dean and I during the presentation. I was rocking the full Facebook swag, and it was just so fun. Like, you know, I wore my Collecting Weekly breast cancer shirt, got a lot of compliments on it, and no one there had branded stuff from their business. It was only me.
We met an interesting guy who does if you go, it's like last resort, but if you go to a
Bar Rodeo.
bar road,
Yeah, his name is Julian. He runs a company called Bar Rodeo in San Antonio. And what he does is, we'll shout out Brenda also. What he does is, if you're like, obviously, like if you're drinking, you plan ahead, you buy it, you get an Uber or whatever. But let's say you drove, you're the designated driver, and you made a bad choice, you drank way too much. His service, and it is a little pricey, but it's a last resort thing. He will drive. He'll have someone drive him to the bar, drive you in your car home, and then he'll have his friend in the car take him home.
That's awesome.
It's like $40.
That's
right?
really
Right?
cool.
$40?
yeah, $40, or if you pay for his Lyft,
I think it's a little cheaper.
it's a little cheap. It's like $20 or something.
Still, that's pretty ingenious.
But I was like, well, a Lyft is like anywhere from like $8 to $16, so your savings is going to be either like $15 to like $5.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was interesting.
Yeah, and he's saying that he's kind of been like working on the structure for a while. Just had his first customer, so shout out to Julian. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it was
That's
very
cool.
cool.
And then Brenda is our best friend from the group. We always sit with her, and we always sit in the
She's
back. It's really
hilarious.
She's she runs a couponing group, so she's like in a year she'll save like $1 million couponing herself.
Dude, it's
That's
insane.
But she's like one of those people that can go to like HEB and then like they pay her to take the
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah,
No, I've seen like the television shows. Like on
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Extreme
crazy.
couponing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's a wonderful person. We always have so much fun hanging out with her, and super love. She's just a wonderful group.
Yeah,
woman.
she does live streams on her page, and she just teaches you how to save money.
Yeah,
Or like if there's a deal, she'll go and live stream how to get the deal. It's
Yeah.
very cool. Like,
That's
oh,
awesome.
like I'm here at HEB, and this is how you get this bread. It's really interesting, and her group is huge.
yeah, it's like in the hundreds of thousands, like 200,000.
It's crazy.
We are at the tail end today and tomorrow. The last day to buy breast cancer awareness T-shirts. I wore one in the pictures. You can see me right there wearing it. It actually is a pretty nice shirt.
So handsome.
Right now, we've sold 5 shirts this month, which is not a huge amount. So we're donating about $25 to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So if you want to up that number, buy a shirt between now and
So I got
tomorrow.
paid Friday.
Well, look, man.
Just extend it like Hasbro, fucking asshole.
It's a nice shirt, but we sold 4 or 5 of them so far.
Just leave it up.
Dean, the 2000. Well, it's going to be up there, but I mean, I'm not going to donate. I guess if anyone buys that shirt, no, I mean at some point. Wow, you guys are all bad people.
You're
taking,
the one
you're what
that's
I'm saying.
taking donations.
You know what? You know what?
You're taking what I'm saying out of context because we do. This is an expensive show, and my hours have been slashed.
What is
So
the
to
official
host
cutoff
the-
date?
We'll extend it to Friday then, since then I think that's appropriate.
This Friday.
That's like November 2nd, I think.
Okay. So November 2nd. However much money we raise for the shirt, I will match and also donate.
Oh, okay, very cool. Can we print a big check? Like
Yes.
$37. Yeah, so that is let me just say that was obviously not what I intended to say, but this is an expensive show. We use the shirts
Guys,
money.
take to the streets. He meant to.
No, I'm gonna edit that out.
Start a
I'm
riot.
gonna edit that out.
You can't go.
I will
Nice.
make sure.
The 2019 Collecting Weekly Figure Awards nomination thread is up. Seth, you gave us a wonderful item to give away, and
Yeah.
you said that we can give it away however we choose.
However you
Now,
choose.
Seth gave us a Statin Tech MX Clone Commando kit, primed, ready to go. This is brand spanking new. Okay.
Yep. I opened the box. I looked at it. I said, one day I'm going to paint that.
And then
I,
you bought mine, and it was like good to
And
go.
then I bought yours, and I was like, I'm never going to
I
paint
don't. I
that.
can't figure out this box, but it's in here, guys.
Yeah, it took me a while to open the box, I will say. Here, let me see.
It says X-ray on it. I don't know.
X-Ray Delta 1, baby. There you go.
Oh,
So this is the basic Clone Commando. So here's what we're going to do. I need nominations for this Collecting Weekly Awards.
wow.
I've got about 7 or 8 people nominate things, and we need to have a field of figures for people to vote for.
Yeah.
So between now and the end of the nomination period, which is I think December 1st, you nominate you fill out a decent attempt to nominate some figures because there's like 7 or 8 things. You don't have to nominate all of them. If you give it an honest attempt to nominate, I'll put your name into the drawing. At the end, whoever wins the drawing wins a Statin Tech MX Clone Commando.
damn, I
This is
want
about
this.
$170 value. All you have to do is nominate some figures that you thought were outstanding. Very easy. It takes about a minute to do your application. So I will put the link. I'll re-put the link on Ox. It's on the pin post, but
Am I
We'll put
able
it
to
up
win this?
yeah, if anyone that does it can get an entry. Can get
So
an
if
entry.
I put out a bigger award, I can win it back for myself. That's awesome.
That's if you really want to do that, yeah.
And
No, I
then
don't
you
want
just give
to.
it to
I'm
me.
joking.
Now, of course, I've also entered, but if I win, I'll just give it away for something else.
Uh-huh.
Now, one other bit of show things. I've been tapped out this week with the hospital bills and everything, and we've seen the doctor like 3 or 4 times this week. So we were going to do a drawing November 1st. We're going to push that to December 1st, and a lot of people were confused. They didn't know that we could do Shop Ox this month, and so we're gonna keep Shop Ox going. We're gonna put the people that did the Secret Santa into the drawing. So December 1st, we'll do a $25 Sideshow gift card giveaway, in addition to the Statin Tech MX Clone Commando kit.
Zach, if you hear this, throw me a bone, man. I don't want to get you.
Wait, what?
Zach,
Yeah.
King Zach.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't know what to get him for Secret Santa.
What has he said so far? Let's talk Secret Santa because he
told me
wants
to
he
steal
wants
your
you to steal the
T-Rex.
T-Rex, which is not happening.
That's it. That's all he wanted.
I will help you steal the T-Rex.
Dude.
No.
That's a first T-Rex.
Only if we get to use chloroform, though.
Do you have chloroform? Because I'm concerned.
I have
Yeah,
chloroform.
I have access to chloroform.
I have chloroform, but chloroform is just the name of my bat.
Wow. So that is, I think that's a good way to get some nominations going because we need
Yeah.
your nominations. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it again.
He said it a lot.
You
he's getting
are
annoying.
doing yourself and the collectors community a disservice by not nominating your favorite figures because push comes to shove. This is the type of award that takes a company from being a Joe Schmo to being a top tier company.
That's
mean,
right.
There's only been 5 Collecting Weekly Award
That's what's
winners
right.
ever.
That's
There's been
pretty-
there's been less people that have walked, more people that have walked on the moon than have won a Collecting
I don't
Weekly Award.
think that's
It's been 12 people that walked on the moon.
12?
Yeah.
I thought it was more like
Wow. Random
5.
fact of the day.
Motherfucker,
Oh.
2 people went. 2 people went to the moon on the first mission.
That's true.
Yeah,
Three.
what are the other 10?
3
now?
people went on the first one.
We went to the moon like 7 times.
Oh.
Does this?
I guess-
Okay, what is your random fact of the day? Do you have
No,
another
that
fact?
was your random
Oh,
fact of
okay,
the
yeah.
day.
No,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that 12 people have
There's
walked
a
on the
children's
moon.
book called The Daring Dozen. It's about the dozen people that went on the moon. I read that book to my daughter.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm
I
not
don't-
kidding. That's
No,
cool.
look, I didn't know that either. I thought it was like probably like 7 or 8, but no, it's 12.
I didn't know you could
I
read.
thought it was a lot less than that.
Very well. I'm not the worst reader that you'll ever meet.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Your boy is coming back big time. So we need awards nominations. Small Talk episode 10, We the Kings, is recording this Thursday night. Damien and Dylan have a ton of swagger about them. And breaking news, Dylan has said, and I'm putting this on the audio record because if he doesn't, he will break my heart. He has said that he is coming down to San Antonio, Texas to visit us this winter
Yeah,
to film Small Talk Live, to film Collecting Weekly Live, and potentially to film the Collecting Weekly Awards show live.
Wow.
Dylan, you better be here.
Now we have 4 mics, so what we might have to do is, oh my gosh, drop the clicker.
Oh my
We might have
Lord.
to do something where we have 4 people at the table, and then we switch out as the show's going on for people who are different experts in different
Yeah.
fields.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a wonderful show. And we have a list of things that Dylan needs to do when he comes to San Antonio: the Alamo, Whataburger, the Riverwalk,
Not just any Whataburger.
Bucky's, the Whataburger,
Whataburger number
Corpus
1.
Christi, baby.
Downtown Corpus, 2 stories tall.
Dylan's probably never seen the ocean in his life. He's landlocked. We're going to take that
Oh
boy to
my
the Gulf.
God.
Oh,
It's going to be.
That's not much of a beach, but at
spectacular.
least
It's gonna
I'll
be.
see it.
It's gonna be magical.
We're going to make Dylan take a picture in front of the Salina statue to
Ooh.
really get the full effect.
Yeah.
We'll have to find him a shirt.
Speaking
and
of-
HEB bags.
Speaking of which, right? The Flash, that was the song he sung, was Como
It was-
Venezuela.
yeah, it was a
it
Selena
was
song.
He sang it pretty good too. So they're recording this Thursday, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. If you want to join us in our community, we're growing. We're almost at 160 members. Also, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Collecting Weekly. We're, after a while being stuck at 200, we're getting back up there. We're at 215, I think, right now. Cool. So, shout out time. Of course, Only Fools in Collecting, the beautiful angels, Ian and Pete. They're killing it with their show.
Dude, their show's great.
Yeah, I listened to it when I was in the hospital with my daughter.
Yeah, we were bragging about them too to the Facebook lady.
That is true, because they were asking, like, how far reaching is their podcast? I'm like, we are in a lot of countries, showed them the map that we've been on. But it's like, not only that, we have a show hosted North Dakota and Texas, and then also in the United Kingdom. We were bragging about them,
And
put
then-
on
and she
put on
was
a
like,
part of the show
"Really?"
for her, and she was like, dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I was like, with the tools, it wasn't a Facebook tool. I was like, but we could see where people were listening. I was like, he was our first international listener.
We put a purposeful search on Facebook for him, and then we found him.
Then he joined us. I was like, and they deal with shit we don't deal with. So we're learning from our viewer that's now our
Cohort.
yeah.
Peer.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It was I fucking love those guys. They're so
Yeah,
cool.
so
Fantastic.
really
They're
really
the-
cool guys.
Oh, what was the term?
Cream
The
of
dog's
crop.
bollocks.
Yeah. Dark Side Customs in the United Kingdom. If you want your sculpts painted, I know we need to send a package to them. Seth, if
Yes.
you have a sculpt you want to send with our package, let us know.
Did you put my Dexter Morgan in there?
We haven't sent it yet.
But you put it in.
It's right there. We're going to put it in. Yes,
Okay, but that's what I
I
meant.
will
like.
find my head.
it
sculpt.
will be put in.
Okay.
So
That's
we
what
can-
she said.
Hey.
6 Scale Scavengers,
We're gonna put the
Brian,
package
Chris,
in.
TC, and the gang. Wonderful people. I know they're. I will say this. First of all,
That sounds like a negative.
no. I was not planning to do memes-tacular, okay, aka spook memes. This go around, I was like, with the hospital thing with my kid, I was kind of
Yeah.
like not in a good mood.
Right.
Brian Fontaine, the wonderful angel that he was like, dude, you got to do it. Sending me all the screenshots because I didn't get into the chat. I was, the first 2 days of Spook, I was in the hospital, or actually most of Spook, but the first days where everyone's getting in the code chats, I was not able to join. And so Brian was feeding me like the first 5 or 6 memes because he had the screen grabs. And, he was encouraging me like, dude, you got to do it. Come on. Like, it's like my favorite thing every year. Really got me into the swing of it. And Seth, you've been my brother in arms of memes. I need to make the meme of Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator with the Jackness, me, you, and Spooktacular memes. It's going to be great. So the memes giving video, Spook memes video is going to come out. I don't want to rush it. I got a lot of good memes made. I got to take the time to find the right song, maybe put some video clips in there. It's going to be like a big ordeal, so I don't want to rush it. So stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be
But,
awesome. Dude, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
you did it.
Brian and Chris. Yeah, well, the thing that really bothers me is no one else is making memes. It's like me and you, and like everyone's just watching us. Now, Dean and I, this in the Power admin group, this
Oh,
one chick was
God.
acting wild last night. She didn't go to the event, and she was complaining that we didn't live stream it. But the thing was, we were specifically told we could take photo, but not video of that presentation.
Uh,
And so I was trying to explain to this chick, like, look, this was the rules that we agreed to be there to not get kicked out. We could take a few photos, but we definitely couldn't video in there. Super upset. This lady was like super pissed that no one took video for her. And so on the bus, we started memeing her in the chat for the people that went to the trip. So like she wasn't in there.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at first I just put the Stanley Hudson rolling eyes gif and people really started to laugh. And I was like, dude, Dean, we're about to take this to the next level. So Dean and I, for like 30 minutes on the way back, just memed the F out of this chick. It was hilarious. And the best part was, like, I know people like the memes that I make because they laugh, react, they send me a message like, dude, that was hilarious. Even though I got kicked out, that was funny as shit. It's awesome. But to, like, do something and then, like, immediately see people in the same bus just die. Like, I'm talking, like,
Audibly
dying laughing.
Yeah.
It was so special. It was such a neat moment. And
Yeah.
then one of the guys, Matthew, he's actually a really cool guy. He runs like Pokemon Go group and like a bunch of other nonprofits. He's actually a good friend with Peter Mayhew.
Oh,
He was like, it's funny because we're on this bus. He said it out loud. He's like, we're on this bus, but we're not talking to each other. We're just sending messages on Facebook.
Shit.
Like the messages are going to outer space and then coming back down instead of us just talking like 10 feet across the bus. Like, and it was so funny. We were just like
Yeah,
legit memeing.
One of the
hard.
girls was like, "Oh, the road to hell is paved with memes," and I was like, "Hell yeah, it is."
Yeah, so after the bus ride, we got like a standing ovation. So Dean, we really nailed that trip, man. That was a fun
I
trip.
feel like people love this.
I really feel like they did as well. Shout out to Dork Dad Podcast. Lucky is my secret Santa person, so
Nice.
I am super excited to send him his gift. And it's weird because like I want to send it early because I'd like for him to be able to use it early,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like it's a Christmas gift. Like we're barely about to be past
We're still,
Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween's
Yeah.
not even over yet.
so I have to wait, but it's like, dude, Lucky, like I want to get you something, but so we'll see. I also wanted to give a shout out to this girl, Jenny, that I bought something from the toy show for. She just started a podcast. It's about paranormal chat. It's, different people sharing their paranormal experiences. And these are stories of people that she knows. It's called Paranormal Chat. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, like pretty much wherever you hear podcasts.
Where's she
That's
from?
awesome.
She's San Antonio.
Nice.
I met her at the toy show. She has 3 episodes recorded so far, and it's neat because she's using the same setup we were using, a Yeti with like 2 or 3 recorders. I was like, dude, that setup works fantastic. We did 70 episodes with it. It's, it could be a better way to start it off. So definitely, if you like paranormal stuff, check her out. She's just starting to podcast, so she's kind of learning the routine and everything.
It's
but
called Paranormal Chat.
Paranormal Chat, yeah,
Okay.
it's a pretty decent podcast. And then Dean, Janet's daughter, the one that we met yesterday,
Yeah.
she also has a podcast.
What?
Yeah, I was looking at her social media stuff today. It is called. Give me 1 second. Did I lose it?
Stalker alert.
Well, no, we're all after the thing. we all started adding
that's
each other.
fine. It's okay.
I'm gonna shoot him in the eye with this laser. He's been so mean to me all day today. I was having a coughing fit, and he said some very vulgar things about me.
What, the penis?
That was so rude.
Oh,
Anyway, it's called Life and Curly Q's podcast. She has like 20, 30 episodes up, so definitely check it out.
cool.
Those are my shout outs that I want to give. Dean, would you like to give anyone a shout out? Actually, shout out to Brenda too. She's awesome.
Brenda's so cool. No, I'm fine.
Seth, what do you got?
I will shout out my new Facebook group.
What?
Yes.
What? Is
Breaking
it an
news.
Orange Theory group?
It is an Orange Theory group.
This guy.
Dude, it's hilarious. We were walking to the Facebook headquarters, and
Oh, there's an Orange Theory.
Zach and I were walking down Third Street, and we both seen Orange Theory at the same time, look at each other, and he's like, "You think Seth's in there?"
I was gonna check, but they didn't tell me. They didn't let me leave. So what's your group?
It's called Orange Theory San Antonio. And it is eventually going to be for all members of Orange Theory in San Antonio. So we have like 108 members so far.
God damn.
What?
But the company's fine with that.
Completely cool as long as I stay within certain guidelines. I can't
Do you own an Orange Theory?
No.
Oh,
That would be awesome.
I don't get it.
I kind of wish I could.
He goes to Orange Theory.
You have to be a member to eat there.
It's not like a place you
This
eat.
motherfucker.
I thought
It's a
Orange,
gym.
It's a gym.
I thought Orange Theory was like a one of those juice bars things.
No, that's orange leaf.
Oh, then I don't know what.
Dean was
the-
like, Orange Theory. You think he dressed up like Michael Jordan from Space Jam to go eat yogurt?
people do weird shit. Man. People do weird shit.
You think this whole time he's been Facebooking for months about yogurt?
Yes.
Bro, Dean's
I
mind just got
love-
blown, like legit blown.
Dude, it's like, well, people are like, oh, eat yogurt to get your body on a like regular cycle.
He even explained what it was. He told us I don't think you were there.
He wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, Seth, I'm really sorry. I was so confused. I was like, member? What the fuck are you talking about?
To be a
Just
member to
like
eat that yogurt?
walk in and eat yogurt. That's hilarious.
That is pretty
That
funny.
is super funny. Don't edit this out.
So yeah. Dean's been wondering why we go to the yogurt place all the time. Like
This motherfucker really likes yogurt.
Rainer, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, shout out to y'all for having me back, of course. I know my work schedule's been kind of erratic lately, but glad to be back.
How do you like the new setup, Zach?
It was really awesome. It is really awesome.
It's a lot to take in. It's a little bit more cluttered, because we're not using the one mic, but I think you come more often, you get used to it, and
Yeah.
what was that you said to begin with?
it's more cluttered.
It's a lot to take in. That's what she said.
This is maybe a bad time to announce, but I changed my work schedule so I can be here starting when I get back from Disney World every week.
Oh, I was like, why is that a bad time to announce that?
Right?
Just because he's gonna be gone again. I got it.
What a guy. Yo,
Yeah,
I need-
Rainer, I'm so glad you're here.
next time we go to a toy show, both y'all wearing black security shirts
Dude.
for me.
Heck yeah.
These two, the second they got in the same room together, are just like
Dude, they vibe. It's like,
they're like besties.
Jesus Christ.
Is that who you're texting when we're driving in the car? You
Anyways, guys, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Seth.
Rainer.
Catch you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Adios.
All right. Good stuff, guys.
Yeah.
What is
an
wrong with this
episode.
mic? This mic is my new favorite thing.
Dude, that was a long ass episode.
I think those sound better than this one. Those are fucking crispy ass mics. Either that or I sound like shit.
Dude, you sound fantastic.
Do I?
You really sound good with that mic, honestly.
Maybe it's because I hate my own voice that I think I sound worse. than I do.
I'm jealous of your voice. We're still live, by the way, but I'm jealous of your voice.
So
You have a voice that's like, I have to like enunciate, like I have a voice, and then I have like a podcasting voice when I'm here, and I have to like really, and it hurts my throat is usually sore more done because like
Uh-huh.
I don't normally talk this loud,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like your voice, like you're just like you're very consistent.
Yeah.
For me, like I have to really like give a little bit of bravado to be
Oh.
doing this.
I don't know. I've always been a bit of a performer. I used to be in like theater and shit.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Well, I was always the class clown. I always wanted attention.
I can just see Dean going, to be or not to be.
That's true. I got kicked off stage on that play. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to be naked.
Well, it's called a natural approach for a reason.
Yeah, all natural.
That was a good episode.
All right, guys, we'll catch you guys later. We'll chat privately amongst ourselves. But Mervin,
Remember, I was giving you a hard time.
remind me tomorrow because I'm not gonna remember tonight. Remind me to give you a bonus entry into a bonus 3 entries for being in the chat. He's been in the chat all night, keeping us company. What a guy! What a guy!
Comment something right now so I know you're still here.
Yeah, Mervin. If you don't comment right now, you only get 1 entry.
Shout out to Mervin.
If you comment in 5 minutes, you get 2 entries.
Mervin.
If you don't
If
comment
you
at all, you get
comment
1
the
entry.
meaning of life, you get.
You actually just get it. We'll just send it.
Mervin, please just comment. Just give us a little comment.
You're my only
Comment
one,
so this will stop. Ew.
Mervin. Mervin, don't drop the ball, Mervin.
Don't drop the ball.
And
Mervin.
10, 9, 8. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
What did he comment?
They
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
okay, sounds good. That's not the meaning of life, but whatever.
Wait, I don't see it on my screen. It's right here.
Yeah, it's plain as day.
Wow, could you be any less excited, Mervin? Jesus.
You know what? We're taking all your entries back.
Actually, you cannot actually win this ever.
Yeah.
It just popped up.
Oh, here we go again.
What
The
do you
meaning
say?
of life is whatever you want it to be.
No, it's 42.
You would have gotten 5 entries.
I always thought it was fried chicken.
No, the meaning of life is 42.
All right, Marvin, we'll catch you later, brother. Thank you so much
Adios.
for being with us tonight.
Yeah, you're a real one.
All right, I want to hear out the sound of the episode.
Hitchhiker.